I'm not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
We got to remind everybody every single week, ladies and gentlemen, that Obama is in fact gay. Welcome everybody to Saturday Night Hypnosis. I hope everybody is having a fantastic evening. We're going to have a great time tonight. Of course, we have our special guest, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. Welcome. How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's so great to be on the Hypnotic show finally. So thank you so much for the invite.
You're very welcome. I love how it has a name. The show has a name, but everybody calls it like the Hypno Show, Hypnotic Show. It's interesting. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
He does.
That's all good. Hey, Ziggy. What's up, Ziggy? How you doing?
Ziggy's
in the chat as well, hanging out with us tonight. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's going to be an awesome night. I hope everybody's ready to talk about some good stuff as we always do. Episode 58 has officially begun. And of course, we're going to do our intros, get it out the way, introduce everybody. You know the deal. We got Leon Idol, Leona, mid-transition. Take it away.
Yes, it is another Saturday Night Hypnosis. Can't wait. Stoked. We got a lot of good stuff to cover. It's good to know that YouTube takes, accusations incredibly seriously. I mean, last week that I alleged that I was raped by actual fandom, and yet they still have a platform. So, it's good to know that YouTube takes accusations seriously. Yeah, truly appreciate it. Let's get down. Let's talk about Bambi and all this other dumb shit, shall we?
Short and to the point. I like it. What's going on, Atreus? HNIC, Atreus? What's going on?
Before I get started, hey, Coach, that money checked out. It was all there, so I appreciate that.
I'm very sure.
Boy, you selling crack or something, bro?
Was there a drug deal going on?
That's what I want to know, bro.
Missing something?
The 8 kilos.
Maybe selling a little bit of ass.
I do remember the talk of kilos. I do.
Did your dad cook up the crack and you sell it
to all in
coach?
here?
Definitely. It's all a cohesive unit here on this show.
What up, everybody? Good news. The new studio is here, so we're gonna get moving into that and all of that stuff.
Look how you have hot sauce right next to you.
That's not hot
Hillary Clinton was
right. That's what I saw. Too late now, bro. It's already been seen.
But yeah, though. So new studio is here. We're gonna get back to some sense of normalcy. Back being on the show every Saturday, but you know how it is. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Really.
Short and simple to the point. Appreciate it.
Take the damn camera off me, dude. I'm done.
I want it to be as awkward as humanly possible. Shout out to Cult Classic Cage. Cassie, take it away.
Hey guys, it's good to be here. I missed last week because I was out and about with my friend after she came back from her Egypt excursion. So that was cool. But I was in the chat for a little bit. Wasn't necessarily coherent, but I was there. But it's good to be back with y'all. We made it through another week, and awesome to have Miss Sassy Sasquatch here. It's always awesome to hang out with her. So that's awesome. And also awesome to be here with everyone in the chat. So yeah, Cult Classic Cage in the house, baby. Let's go.
100%. Let's do it. And of course, our special guest, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. Tell them about yourself, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Okay, so Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. I'm formerly known as Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch. No, Cannoli and I didn't get divorced. We just he just gave me my own he told me it was time for my own channel. So I ventured out on my own. I've had my own channel since the end of May, and decided to change my name to Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch because no matter where I go, I bring the sassiness. So my channel is Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. Hi. Oh, there's my daughter. Love you. Thanks for she loves this show. She is the one that goes, you guys, it's 5 o'clock here. Hypnotic's on. We have to watch. So she is like the #1 supporter. It's so funny. And she's only 15. Anyway, let's see. So yeah, I just bring a bunch of sassy on my channel. I talk about all the things that are messed up in this world, such as our kids being indoctrinated and our women being kind of demoralized. And my motto of my channel is to make real women great again. So I'm here to protect our kids, be an advocate for mental health, and get our women back being important again. So that's me for you. Oh, and I do a female perspective podcast one Friday a month with two lovely ladies.
There you go. Very cool. Welcome to the show yet again.
Thank
and
you.
That girl Casey joined. Speaking of making women great again. What's up, Casey? How you doing?
What
All right,
is up, you?
now we got the Mr. We're gonna do that. We're just doing our intros right now.
Oh, my fault.
No, it's all good. I'm trying to get through them. Coach MC, take it away.
Thanks so much for having me, Hypno. Thanks so much for being out here to the chat. It's a great opportunity to talk, to communicate, to exchange about all the madness that went down through the week. Thanks so much to the Sasquatch tribe for joining the show and the madness today. It's a real honor having you here. It's like I'm a big fan of your content, of your vibe. So you're definitely adding something very cool and unique, and a cool spin to this, a bunch of mad people and mad hatters out here, especially a Trace. I mean, look at him. What do we have here on the panel? What do we have?
Yeah.
No, it's
I
really
know how
great.
you feel, Coach. I know.
I was a bit absent over the last couple of days because I have my father-in-law from the southernmost point of Italy. He
he was weighing up all that cocaine I sent him. Don't lie.
What do you think I do with all these colors when I cross the border? No, but besides that, it was just a fun time hanging around with him, just showing him a little bit around in South Florida. So I was a bit absent in the chat, and also with producing videos. There's a ton of content coming up for sure. I interviewed Sebastian Rask on my platform, who's a great podcaster. I interviewed some really, really cool, inspirational people from the Miami area. We launched 2 events. We're going to talk about it on the Coach MC studio, where we talk about entertainment, great movies. And also, if you want to get into, movie industry, entertainment industry, or you want to be your own entertainer, your own performer, you run your own show, and you want to get better with your acting, with your scripture, with your text, with your performing, then come over to the studio, have fun with us, hang out with us every Saturday. Thanks so much, man, for making this possible. It's a true honor. And now let's rock this.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Thank you for being here. And we got our local Klansman himself, Ryan. Look, he's giggling already at the thought. He's giggling. He's like, yes, it's my turn. I get to show my news.
Get to hang black people.
This is amazing.
Oh my God!
That's why you realize that's why he shaped the mic in that regard, right? Because it reminds him of hanging a black guy upside down.
It is black. Yeah,
and it's a lamppost.
Wakanda forever, my fellow Atreians and Catians. I hope you're all doing well. And for all the Spanish viewers watching, mucho gracias. Gringo, arriba.
Good job.
Very so much racism in one go.
And Dragon. I forgot Dragon was Latino. But it's great to have Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch on the show. Cannoli has been a guest of Reality Based, and I'm sure his sassy wife can be on the show sometime soon. And it's great to know that the Sasquatch community is a multi-generational channel, man, wife, daughter, and hopefully that will continue. I'll still be here. I'll be a lot grayer. I'll be old, but I will outlive everyone on this fucking planet.
That's for sure.
Especially Atreus.
You don't go out.
But, yeah. So Atreus, how have things been in your recent move to Wakanda?
I think he's done. I'm pretty sure
he doesn't go out, and his skin tone proves it.
How dare you, Mexican?
Now,
Just so you guys are aware,
even if he did go out, his skin tone would still prove it because they don't have anything but fucking rain in the UK. So
Ryan does not have the light on in his room. I want you guys to realize that in chat. This is just the literal skin color reflecting off of his forehead.
We know, Patsy, that your radical weight loss was due to Atreus is crack and Coach's cocaine. We all know that.
Every time you make you do realize every time you make a terrible joke, your hairline recedes more, right?
No.
If that's the case,
the reaction. Look, he's getting his noose ready. I already know. I could see it under the camera.
Oh my God!
Getting it ready. All right, our local Dragon Slayer commentaries. Take it away, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Por favor, perdón el cabrón de Ryan. Es un poco loco, okay? Right. So,
Damn.
it's all good.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Dragon here, and today we're gonna have such a good day. Fuck you, Mr. Black Man over there. Okay, I ain't giving anybody no more indicators, so we're to get an easy, cheap crack. Okay, screw you. Right. So, as I was saying, we're gonna have a great time. I've been hearing that there is. Oh, thank you. That's a really nice title. Yeah, I've been hearing that things have gone downhill since last week, and we're going to cover them, and we're going to have a good time. All right? So let's get going.
And doesn't everything always go downhill every week? It's very rarely we ever go
Yeah,
uphill.
but you know, like,
this
we're
is
talking
probably
about
the
the
longest
tires
slope
we're
in
covering?
existence at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
I
All
don't
right,
know, like,
and-
do we have a tier list of like trash heaps we've covered in the past years? Like, have we gotten that far enough to where we can make a tier list from
We
best?
probably
Well,
if we don't, Bounding into Comics is going to. Did you see their dumbass Twitter post a couple days ago? Like, hey, what's the wokest shows you guys have seen?
I did, and it's gonna become an article at some point. I guarantee.
No
you.
way.
Yup.
All right. Last but not least, we got that girl Casey. Take it away.
What's up, y'all? It's me, that girl Casey, back again, ready to hang out with my squad. Hello, MrsSasquatch. I'm glad to see you here. And I love that I came in on you saying you're ready to make women great again. Thank you, because something's been going on with women. And on my channel, we keep it real about everything. I've been, I was covering the Russell Brand situation, which all of a sudden now is quiet since after they destroyed him, taking stuff away from him. I try to cover everything on my channel. It's all connected. Today I put out a video about some trans guy who feels like he is a female and should, compete in women's sports, even MMA, boxing, or whatever. And we just cover everything. We make the inconvenient truth great again. That's what we do on my channel. So check me out over at that girl Casey. And Hypno, thank you for having me on another Saturday so I can hang out with my squad.
No problem. Thank you for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we have a lot to talk about. A lot's been going on, as it always has been, and things are finally starting to ramp up because the writer's strike is over, with the actor strike probably going to be following suit within the next month or so, depending. But with the writer's strike being over, things are happening again, and things are being said, and it's funny. We're going to talk about Bambi, obviously. Bambi being the hot topic right now because Disney's deciding that they're going to modernize Bambi, according to one of the writers. These writers literally didn't even give themselves 24 hours before they started saying things. Which I find it to be quite amazing. So we're going to talk about Bambi. We're going to talk about some rumors going around about Star Wars movies being canceled. Some of the movies that they announced back at, what was that event called? Star Wars what Kathleen Kennedy announced like 50 million. Yeah. But she announced like 50 million projects. Well, apparently 2 of the movies are being canceled, supposedly. Anyway, of course, it's just a rumor, but we'll get into that. Yeah. And we're also going to talk about a couple of things that some woke writers have said recently. One of which somebody said that the word woke itself is being basically compared to the N-word. Apparently, I don't know how Atreus feels about that.
I'll say it more often. Woke.
Oh, jeez.
Woke.
Of course you will.
Immediate demonetization. Age restricted.
So we've gone pretty down south if someone's trying to compare those two words. So again, there's a lot going on, but let's start off with Bambi, ladies and gentlemen. Just get it out the way because that is obviously the topic of the week, it seems. So apparently, and let me pull up the original article just to make sure I have it all correct. But I have 2 that I want to go over.
Did they make Bambi black? That's the
no,
question.
but it's probably going to happen. And Bambi will probably make female too.
Let me tell you something. If they make Bambi black and have the mother getting killed in a violent freak accident while having no father, that'll be like the biggest stereotypical insult that's ever existed.
It's a live action furry remake.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like the Lion King was, essentially. That's what they said anyway. Like it's gonna be super photorealistic animals, but somehow you're gonna sell the emotion of an animation. It is boring.
I don't know how that's gonna do.
Why should they do that? I mean, it's just what is it? The documentary?
Because they're never ever going to learn. They're
No.
going to screw up everything and continuously do it until they think they're going to get it right. They're never going to get it right, ever.
I don't
They're
think at
just-
this point it's about getting right. It's just destroying. Just you
yeah,
know.
no, it's destroying, but I think they think like they'll eventually maybe hit the nail on the head, and maybe eventually somebody will agree with this woke agenda they have and ruining our childhood movies. That I can't with these. These just drive me crazy.
So apparently it was the writer. Just really quick, it was the writer from the live action Bambi. Immediately once this writer was given freedom from the strike, obviously, came out and dropped this bomb that this is what they do, because it gets the clicks. Admittingly, it gets the attention, it gets the headlines and all that nonsense, and people start taking this quote and they run with it, right? So like I have articles from Bounding, I have articles from even a New York Post. Like everybody's running with this story because they're, first off, they've been desperate, right? There hasn't been really any headlines for how many months now? So the moment somebody came out, what woke something? Oh, run it, just run it quick, So they're going crazy with it. But let's see. So it says live action Bambi writer says that the film is being made so that kids can relate to it a little bit more. I don't know how you're gonna relate to a movie about a deer or whatever, a fawn, whatever. But okay. Hints that it will soften Bambi's mom's death.
I got an answer for that. I got an answer for that. I think Steve said it best. The way they're going to do it is they're going to have a bunch of rednecks in MAGA hats. They're going to run over Bambi's mom with a semi truck, or worse yet, they'll shoot her, and then they'll start taking pictures with her dead corpse just to make it worse.
There'll be an American flag hanging out of the back of the truck, and you know what? I'm okay with them. You know what? If they soften the mother's death, okay, the mother's death is horrific. For I think these Disney movies that automatically kill off a parent in the beginning of the movie, I feel like is unnecessary. I feel like it's really way too dark for kids. That's my opinion. Having a child of my own, I've had to. I always have to fast forward through Finding Nemo because it bothered her that the mom died, and there was different parts of Disney movies that bothered her. Anyway, long story short, I feel like softening the death might be fine, but that's just not where they're going to stop. They're just, this is going to be a complete shit show all the way around.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta disagree with you hardcore. Like the parent dying is part of the hero's journey for any story. Like we need to bring movies back that do traumatize kids. Beetlejuice was rated PG. The reason that you grew up so strong, Mama C, is because you saw movies in the 80s that fucking taught you real lessons. Like, oh man, this traumatized me as a kid. It taught me not to talk to strangers. It made me realize don't go in dark alleys by yourself.
I think
so none of this fucking pussyfooting around making kids say, oh, we need to stop it for kids.
But the thing is, look,
so you hate kids and midgets.
There's a difference between like, a kids movie like a Bambi and like RoboCop. I watched RoboCop at 8, and seeing like him get offed the way he did fucked me up. I couldn't watch that movie again until I was, well into my teenage years. Like it really did mess me up. So I mean,
it's a rated R movie. Like
yes, yes. But what I'm saying is like Bambi is, it is deep, and it can be a little bit bothersome for a kid. Even though I did watch it at 4, but then again, I haven't watched it since then. So maybe low key, it's for a reason. I've never revisited that movie, and I can't even quite remember it at this point.
I can't either.
I'm smiling at the fact that a black man is putting their hand up to speak.
I was gonna pass the praise.
Trace, why are you raising your hand? Like, come on, don't make me feel like we got
because
we in class
between Leon and we get to interrupting each other. And I'm just like, let me just raise my hand, dude. but
are you pleading the fifth, Atreus?
Oh God. Jeez.
I'm gonna go back to what Leon was saying. I wholeheartedly agree. Pain, death, and agony in these movies build character for these children. All right, it needs to be a lot more blood, gore, and they need to. Okay, maybe that's
probably sex.
Then just show him the Godfather with the horse head in the bed. You'll be fine. Just
everything.
I was watching a lot of this stuff. Like I grew up off of Tales from the Hood and all types of stuff. That was traumatizing.
Am I not surprised you said that?
Yeah, so
it's just
I don't know.
PG doesn't mean anything anymore.
No, the thing is,
what? But the thing is, everything is being made to feel the same. Like, Bambi is now going to be, relaxed. And at least I can understand that because that is, for children. Whereas RoboCop was remade and they bitchified that. It's like, no, that's supposed to be for adults. Can we just have a fine line on what is for children and what is for adults, and we not cross these lines?
Especially if we give children like smartphones where they can look up any type of violent and gruesome content all day and without
Disney's Bambi's going.
But hey, please, let's make sure that Disney's
stop coddling kids though. PG means parental guidance. So like if you're gonna be a parent, you're gonna watch something with your kid. If it's PG, well, yeah, there's gonna be some shit in there that might be too tough for a kid to watch by themselves. Hence the parental guidance. The parent sits there and explains,
But
"Hey, this is what
80s
death
PG.
is. It's something that's gonna happen." But like it's like that for a reason. There's a reason. Like, the Goonies holds the fuck up.
Yeah.
The Goonies was PG. You're not gonna if the Goonies was made today. Rewatch the Goonies and tell me if it was made today, that shit wouldn't be at least PG-13. All I'm saying is I want some consistency and I want children to stop being coddled because the real world ain't a fucking nice place. So why should PG movies that are still
because
incredibly
we don't
tame.
need our kids to be freaking traumatized at 3. I think we should let them have a childhood, and then when it gets to that point, because here's the thing, the real world really fucking sucks and it's tough out there, and I think as parents we should let our kids be kids as long as they can before we fuck them up.
But did Bambi fuck anyone up in 1949?
Like,
I'm sorry.
They were already fucked up.
But here's
They
the
were already
thing.
fucked up
Like,
from the war.
We're in a scenario now where like we can't establish what is for what. Like I would be petrified as a parent in today's society because like they're gonna introduce sexuality to your children. Like I just want to create a fine line where can we get back to like stuff being for children and that like parents shouldn't have to worry about looking at everything that's for children? Like, because to me, while violence wasn't a problem for me, like my parents, got an understanding for me as a child that I understand that this stuff is fake.
Yes.
Now, not every kid, but to be fair, I was on the ball as a kid. Like I was pretty whereas like, for example, my brother, he was a little bit naive as a kid. I wasn't naive. I didn't trust nobody. And my dad knew that. So he never saw me being indoctrinated by stuff or being like bothered by certain things. It depends. Like children catch on to things at different ages and at different times. Like it really just depends.
And just to add really quick, and then Trace can speak just really quick.
And I can speak.
like kids, they have a way of kind of subconsciously understanding mythology and those primordial aspects, like what is good, what is bad. They have a way of deducting what we're saying now or what we're showing now with this movie, even if it might look gruesome on first glance, on first sight. Actually, there is like a metaphor. It's a message. They want to kind of convey something here. And kids have a pretty good instinctive way of understanding that. I'm seeing that it's all the time with kids actors, and they have this capacity of understanding. Fairy tales need that. Of course, if it's too much, then it's not good. It's excessive, and it's probably traumatizing at a certain extent. But you need for the hero's journey that cascade of events to kind of take place. In order to do that, you need like a cataclysm in the beginning.
So
I'm sorry. I wanted it to make it quicker. Really,
No, you're fine.
Shoot, Casey.
Yeah, the Bambi thing, right? So I think that was the first cartoon. That was the first time I did have an experience about death, and because I think I saw it when I was 4, and I never watched it again. And I remember the feeling that it did give me when the mom died, but because I didn't quite understand death yet. And I was hoping she would come back in the movie, but I can't remember everything about that movie. But really, the Disney movie that killed me with the death, y'all know the one too. When I say it, y'all gonna know, it was The Lion King. When Mufasa died. Oh, forget it.
You're right.
I was there like, oh God.
This was traumatizing for y'all?
But I wasn't. No. I wasn't traumatized. It's just that thing that
not everyone had a
everybody my
dad that
age
was cooking
talks
crack in
about.
front of them, Atreus. Some people had normal
Hey, you know what?
childhoods.
Hey, fuck you, man.
I was gonna say that.
Y'all are such pieces of shit. Oh my god.
You guys are backstabbers.
Trace is definitely on a different
hood of
level.
Atlanta, okay?
He's on a different level of gangster than everybody else. So
You're gonna bring up that crack story every show, aren't you?
We didn't ask for it. It just came out of nowhere. I tell that to everyone I meet. Sorry.
Guys, I just want to do a real quick shout out, man. Chat's killing it. 20 gifted members. I think it was 10 from KRG, I believe. Hold on, let me double check because my thing is acting funny. 10 gifted memberships from KRG, 5 from Bruce Banner, and 5 from CJTJ. Thank you guys so much. You guys are killing it, man. Appreciate it. I didn't want to wait till the hour mark to call that out because they're going crazy, making everyone green. So thank you.
I just like to say that I'm still ill, mainly because of all the minorities on the show. But
because you can't afford health care. That's what it is. You can't afford
Thank you, Mrs. Sassy, for adding another white person to the panel. Me and Ryan.
I'm Italian, so I don't know what to tell you.
You count. You
Italians,
count.
Italians are the scum of white people. What are you talking?
Italians count. Germans count. Spanish count.
Time out. Apparently, it was 15 from KRG. I apologize, KRG, for some reason. I didn't see the other 5. I don't know why, but I apologize. YouTube sucks that way. Which also, just quick note, I have it in the pinned comment. I'm sure people saw it, but this stream is not monetized tonight. I completely turned it off because of what happened last week, where YouTube decided to go crazy. Oh yeah, Trey, you weren't here, so yeah, it went crazy last week where they were doing mid-roll ads like nonstop. And it was just ruining the viewership experience. So I just completely demonetized myself. I turned it off. So hopefully you guys haven't been dealing with what do you call it, like all the mid-roll ads and stuff. That should not be around. So sorry about that.
Yeah, we talking about everything tonight then.
I could be demonetized. I would prefer not to be banned. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, Cassidy was talking about the fine line. Remember, we got to have the fine line. You know, not everything's connected. You know, it's not. But
it's so coincidental.
Save it for the last hour, Casey. We'll get to it, but just give it the last hour. We'll usually get the cool method.
Yo,
just remember, everyone.
5. Holy shit! Thank you.
Just remember, everyone. I was the one that always kept my stuff, my live streams demonetized.
There you go.
So nothing has changed over on my channel.
We better see if I can't afford a bunch of girl ads.
There ain't no.
What the fuck?
So let me ask a quick question, really quick. So just to go back on topic, because I'm curious to hear the different answers, because I know everybody's kind of, it's not an echo chamber here. Everybody kind of has different takes on things. So I'm curious. So how do you think they're going to modernize this actual like Bambi live action remake? Like, what does that mean for Bambi? You know what I mean? Because Bambi's like, it's such an old show. I'm sorry, not show. It's such an old movie. Right, it's a little younger than Snow White. Yep. Snow White was 1930 something, right? Like 1937. Bambi was 1942, 44, whatever it was.
Good years.
So it's a little bit. You weren't even around. Shut up.
They're very good years.
Segregation was.
They're gonna add 50 additional minutes because the movie's barely over an hour. So they're gonna add 50 new minutes, 3 new songs, and one of them is gonna be a rap song from fucking Cardi B or some shit. That's one way they're gonna modernize.
Are we gonna get like another? What's her name? Aquafina.
Aquafina. Yeah, we're gonna get another. Aquafina
no, God,
moment.
No, please, no, not her.
So I know we're joking, but like what I really think is they're gonna make Bambi a female. I think that's like guaranteed. I think it's guaranteed that Bambi's gonna be retold from the story of a female. Whatever else they do, I don't know. Y'all can make jokes or have a serious like. I'm just curious. What do you really think they're gonna do with this? I mean, remember it's live action, so
I barely remember the damn story. So I'm
watching the death scene right now, and really all that does occur is that they're like. Bambi and his mom's is eating or whatever. She hears something. She's like, "Get out of here!" And he's running, and he runs into a cave, and then he's wondering where she is, and then he's looking around, and then some other deer dude comes up and says, "Yeah, your mom's ain't gonna be with you no more, homie." That's literally all that kind of goes down.
Oh shit!
It's not that bad, but like I guess the way he delivers it is, I guess like the deer dude. If I had to guess.
But the deer dude was his dad.
That was her side piece.
That was his dad. All right, so I guess that the male deer at this point is, instead of just being like, "Yo, little homie, your mom's is dead," they're gonna be like the comforting type. He's gonna probably sound a little feminine and replace, Bambi's mother.
A good father role. If they do that, that shows a good father role model.
The father's gonna transition into a female Bambi, and
then identify as his mother. So
it won't be the father; it'll be the boyfriend.
There's going to be transitioning. There's going to be a female power There's going to be let's see.
I could
We're gonna
definitely
have
see them making
pronouns.
Bambi female and making it a story about how Bambi was always meant to be the leader she was meant
Yes.
to be.
Yep.
and everything.
Absolutely. Yep. And the
Oh my
pronouns are
God.
going to be they, them. You're right. I really do think they're going to change it female
Or fawn
empowerment.
self.
Absolutely. Because that seems to be the thing that they're doing right now, especially with Snow White, where, she's coming out and saying it's not going to be a story about true love. She's going to be this powerful woman who doesn't need a man. And
Hold
it's
on.
just like, so I think they're going to follow suit with that, even though it's a
Okay.
really dumb take and
What you found
nobody likes it. They're just going to keep doing that over and over. So I really do think Bambi's going to go that route for sure.
Here's what they're gonna do.
Tell me.
Boy.
Bambi's mother is gonna be a lesbo. And
Nice.
the lesbian girlfriend is gonna comfort Bambi. There we go.
No, it's going to
Damn.
be a hate crime. It's going to be a hate crime.
Hate
She's a
crime.
lesbian. It's a hate crime. And then Bambi's going to transition because they don't know what to do with themselves. And then the dad's going to go on a drug binge and get prostitutes.
This
I
got really.
think that Bambi's mom is
want
not
to
going
turning
to
this
die.
dark.
I asked for serious opinions and I got
seriously-
like drug stories.
So I think that Bambi's mom isn't going to die. I think that they're going to kill the dad, and it's they're going to kill the dad. I do think Bambi's mom is going to have a black voice. It'll probably be Taraji P. Henson. Like,
Just
Why
name
do my
dropping
girls
people.
like that?
Damn.
and she's gonna be talking about, well, this is how it is, Bambi.
Oh,
Like,
no, no,
we gotta do
please,
what we
no.
gotta do to stick together. And Bambi, you're not
If
gonna cry.
that, if that deer,
I don't know,
if that
some
deer
weirdness like
rolls its
that.
neck
I'm
one
gonna,
time,
like, I'm already over it. I'm
If it rolls
automatically
its neck
over it.
one time.
So,
bro, no.
Yo, I'm
I-
waiting to see a deer
What-
roll a blunt, please. I
Bro,
just need to have
What,
like,
what
if
the
they're
hell?
gonna do right, like if they're gonna do the stereotypical thing, like just have fun with it.
Is this Bambi in the hood? Is that this what this is?
Isn't there supposed to be like a horror Bambi movie coming out? I'm more interested in that, to be real with you, because the Winnie the Pooh
No,
movie,
it happened with Winnie the
No,
Pooh.
no.
the Winnie the Pooh movie is,
No.
don't get me wrong, the Winnie the Pooh movie is absolutely horrible, but by modern horror movie standards, it's not that bad. You can't tell me that the
True.
Winnie the Pooh movie
True.
made on like a couple of $1,000 budget is somehow a lot worse than Halloween Ends. You can't tell me that shit and actually be taken seriously.
It's
Well,
a
I
great
got an
financial.
art picture
Yes, I
of,
can. Yes,
I
I
got
can.
an art picture of the
Yes,
live
I
action
can.
Bambi.
No, you can't.
What?
That shit is dreadful.
I told you it's gonna be like this. I am gonna tell you, gonna make them black, and they're gonna have some crazy redneck be like, "Oh, that's some fine piece of venison you got over here."
You're in
Boom.
rocket country.
And then they're gonna rocket country. Yeah.
This is
Hey,
definitely
Larry, take a quick
gonna be the
little
live
picture
action
here.
Bambi for sure.
She's so
Without a doubt.
cute.
Bambi in
No,
blackface.
looks so
Just
tasty.
replace this
Blackface,
with like a
white
blunt.
supremacy.
Replace this with a blunt, and you're good.
Blunt and a hood cap too of some
Oh,
kind. I don't know.
jeez.
Make it out of fur. Make it out of like whatever leaves you can find in there. You know.
But
This
you know,
will grow
this whole
children
thing
up.
had
There
me-
you go.
Anything like that.
This will grow our children up real quick.
It had
No,
me
no.
thinking like nothing is sacred, man. Like it's like it's a story. Who asked for Bambi to be remade, especially into a
Bambi.
live action?
Leave
Like
it.
this is, I don't get it.
Anyone watch Disney Plus came out in like what 2020 when if some people pulled up Disney Plus day one, was anyone rushing to be like, let's fucking watch Bambi? That's not even one of Disney's big heavy hits.
No.
The only thing people fucking remember from Bambi is the mom died, and then they
Yep.
remember the bunny because you could buy the bunny
Yeah.
a shirt with the bunny on
Thumper.
it, fucking JC Penney.
Yep.
Like
You know what's
that's
crazy?
it.
I had
one's
Bambi
clamoring
on
for Bambi
vinyl.
when you got like Lion King and Hercules.
Look,
Nobody
I
asked
had
for the
Bambi
Little
on
Mermaid
vinyl.
either. Nobody asked for Ariel, the Little Mermaid.
I can understand. Like I'm still adamantly against a remake for obvious reasons, but the Little Mermaid I can at least understand because it came out relatively recently in the grand scheme of Disney. It was part of the Disney Renaissance, so there's a lot of people who were nostalgic for Little Mermaid. Anyone nostalgic from fucking Bambi is dead as fuck. It came out in 44.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Dead
Good
as
I
point.
had it on
fuck.
vinyl, and you could read the book when you would turn the pages, and the record player was playing like everything. But like when Bambi's
Yeah.
mom dies, and they're like, "Hurry up, run!" You know, and all that, and then you're turning. The
Oh, I
page-
hope it's a record scratch when her mom, like the fucking
Like,
gun goes off and the record does a
That's
record
so
scratch. Like
old,
it's a
right? I
hip-hop
think it was
album.
like.
See, I had
87.
that, but for like the Lion King 2, and it had like not the vinyl, but
You probably had
the VHS. I mean, not the VHS. Excuse me. The cassette tapes.
Oh, the
So I put it
cassette
in
tape.
my Sony cassette tape player. That was my I remember getting that for like my fourth Christmas.
She's real proud
And
of
I
that
got
thing.
the line. Hell yeah, that was you have to understand. I was like the most obsessed Lion King fangirl ever. I watched that movie every day for like 2 years straight. Like I wasn't even like it's hilarious. So like when I was a kid, I had like all the toys, and I had like a step stool, and I would pretend it was Pride Rock, and I would reenact Mufasa getting murdered like 100 different times.
And here, kids, a killer was born.
I love that. In 2023, kids don't do that shit. But back in 98, 99, I was reenacting that scene with the toys and everything.
I love that.
Cage, I just want to let you know what you just said right now. That sounds like a plot line I would hear from like a true crime, like serial killer documentary. It's just like, the way I kill my victims, back in 99 with my cassette tapes. I just remember loving the fact how Mufasa was killed, him hanging for dear life and then saying,
what you used to do in the step stool, you used to like walk up in a certain way. You thought you was like,
my favorite moments to reenact is Mufasa dying, and then the part at the end where Simba is walking up to like roar and that he's now the king.
Doesn't that kind of kill the whole traumatizing argument from earlier though?
Yeah,
she clearly wasn't traumatized.
No, she got off of
You should understand. I watched this. Look, there are times where I cried watching that scene, but you have to also understand. I watched that movie every day for like 2 years straight on VHS. I burnt that shit out. I burnt that tape out.
And who reenacting murders. It's
like a serial killer.
Remember?
See, that's what we're saying. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe they need to relax with the whole killing thing.
Well, the thing is, Cage, a lot of serial killers said they felt like a lot of serial killers said they always felt like that weird sensation that they were worried, they're kind of hesitating, but after enough times, it kind of became numb and normal. So I'm still concerned over here.
That.
Considering you got the spirit of Joe Pesci in you.
Simba went back to the body and was like, come on, we gotta go. I was like, oh shit.
Look, Bambi, if the story of Bambi is not about like Bambi becoming a drug lord of some kind, ruling over the forest, just killing all the enemies and building a massive forest drug empire, I won't watch it. I'm sorry.
It should be a furry film.
Even then, I wouldn't watch it because it's still getting
be a live action furry film.
Not even the furries seem interested in this. Am I correct?
What's up, Zax? I mean,
not the
right over there. Speaking of stuff,
big
like,
ass
we should
blunt.
talk about the Tupac murder. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, make Bambi like die like Tupac. Oh no, that would be fucked up. No, I'm not saying.
Isn't that what happened to
drive? Tupac Shakur would still be alive if black people did not drive.
What?
No,
what?
He was killed in a car.
Getting your stereotypes wrong.
That's not what happened, though, dog.
In a car. He got shot in a car. We need car control. We need instant
Nice way to own the list.
Get out of here, British.
Great job. It's amazing.
Oh,
we don't
man.
need controls.
Leave it to the British, man. When they don't hit the right way.
You're not hitting me, Atreus, that's for sure.
No,
all right, so
bro.
let's close up on Bambi real quick. So I mean,
it just turned into turning into drug lord.
Yeah, obviously Bambi is going to be terrible, and I think what they're going to end up doing is, because I haven't heard of anything of a theatrical release. I think they're probably going to make this Disney Plus only, like they did Peter Pan. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think there's a huge market, like we said earlier. I don't think I can't imagine any person who is out there saying, I really desperately want to see a live action Bambi. Like I especially don't see anybody successfully running with the story of, I'm so glad they modernized Bambi because I can finally see myself. Like, I just don't see how they can utilize this film.
One Twitch chick that thought she was a deer. Maybe this movie is for her.
Maybe, but again, that's what Disney Plus is for. If you have an audience of like 10 people, you really should probably release it on streaming only. So chances are that's probably what's going to happen.
Have they confirmed? Oh, so they haven't confirmed this is going to be a major motion picture release.
Not yet. They just said they're remaking into a live action film.
Yeah, this seems like it's just being made for the purpose of content. I can't see this being like a big deal in the grand scheme of things.
Mhm.
Obviously, the whole point of saying, "Oh, normalized for modern audience," probably gives more attention to this than Disney will
Yeah.
even give to this project. So
I think also
can't
too,
wait
it's
till
the
the
fact that
streaming
they
numbers
need
come
to
out and
spread the
release.
catalog. Like they're trying to redo their whole catalog. So even though there is no necessary need for Bambi, they can't just let it sit there and not get redone. Like they redid everything. So it's just it's the last one for a reason, because they probably really don't give a shit, to be honest.
Well,
with you.
do you think it's
Yeah.
because of a public domain thing? Maybe it's about to slip into the public domain, so they need to
Probably.
remake it so they hold on to the
Yeah.
rights.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah. What's
They
the
do that a
what's
lot.
the year on that? 25, 35? I forgot. It's a certain amount of
Good
years before
question.
it becomes public domain. I'm sure you can look that up. But yeah, you're probably right. It's probably why they're remaking all this shit, so that they can keep on to the into the rights, I would imagine. And again, it's a combination of that.
It's
and
already in
also
the
a
public domain.
combination. Oh, is it?
yeah, that's
So
why
if
it was.
if
It's
they
already
redo it, though,
confirmed.
if they redo
that
it though, then do they get it back, or how does that work?
So I think the way it would work, and I could be wrong, but if you were trying to use the Disney version, you would still be subject to copyright law. But since Bambi was already a book before it was a movie, the book version is what's in the public domain.
I got you. Okay, so it does well. All right, it really doesn't matter, because really it's about Disney anyway at the end of the day. So it's probably like I said before, it's a combination of probably that, and also the fact that they've already remade everything else. They can't just let Bambi sit. They got to do something with it. They're not going to make another animation, because their animations do worse than their live actions now, which is crazy to me. I can't imagine that Disney is losing so much.
They're
money
doing
on
it for public domain reasons, because it says here most corporate works created before 1978 enter the public domain 95 years after their date of first publication. And because the characters listed above were first published in 1920s and 30s, of course, this is like for another example, but
right,
it seems that they were getting close to that point, of to the 80-year mark. So yeah, they probably were doing it so that they could avoid that. So
that makes sense.
You guys remember how for years everyone shit all over the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and the sequels came out, and people were like, "Oh, you know what? This wasn't so bad." This is what's gonna happen to the Disney fucking like straight to DVD sequels. People are gonna go back and look at Bambi 2 and be like, Bambi 2 wasn't actually that bad.
hey, you know what? Atlantis too. I made fun of how ass it looked, but it's better than what I'm getting now. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, didn't that already happen with Rings of Power, right? Like when Rings of Power came out, we looked back at The Hobbit, we're like, you know what? We were actually a little too rough on The Hobbit. It really wasn't.
No, fuck The Hobbit. The Hobbit's worse than Rings of Power.
That's why I love the direct-to-video era of Steven Seagal. That is why I love his
every
film.
era of Steven Seagal.
That was every era, bro.
Is Steven Seagal the only movies they released in your country? That's all you talk about.
No. It's great. It's wonderful. We had a great show.
Do you just enjoy it for the amount of black people that he killed in his movies? Like, which one is it?
No. Steven Seagal is black.
I think Ryan loves Steven Seagal is because he has the love for Russia and Vladimir Putin in common. He's like, Steven Seagal
wasn't there a
I ain't got no
Steven
problem with
Seagal movie where the entire movie all he did was kill Haitians? I forgot.
Yes,
there was.
What was it?
It's called A Haste Crime.
Oh my god, Ryan, which one was that? You clearly know. You're a Seagal fanboy.
You would know.
Oh, Marked for Death. That's the one.
Yeah.
Marked for Death.
There are nearly 60 Seagal films, so it's quite the extensive record.
59 too many.
Years.
Ryan,
he's inspirational to me because content creators could make his kinds of films, and they would be better than what fucking Disney is creating now.
Probably.
I mean, like literally, Steven Seagal is marked for lies. This dumb motherfucker actually lied about having met with Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee's son.
Oh, he made up a
with
lot
his
of
child.
He makes up a lot of shit.
That blew my mind that he lied to that level of depth.
I got a better one.
This is a liar to the highest degree. It is so depthful how willing he is to lie and how all in on his bullshit ass lies he is.
He's the master of bullshito.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude! We're do a Halloween stream, and Ryan, I need you to shave your beard and pull your hair and ponytail back because you could just be Steven Seagal for Halloween.
Oh no! and wear the freaking black robe that he wears all the time. That'd be great. Oh, and one thing, by the way,
he's a professional bullshit artist, but like in regards to his actual skills in martial arts, he is actually impressive. Like he apparently, he's like a grandmaster in Aikido or whatever, and that's like a very
Aikido,
defensive.
Aikido is a fake martial art, though.
No,
Yeah,
but the
dare
thing that
you.
makes it interesting is like it's very defensive oriented, but his style is strangely offensive. So it's like he kind of morphs it in this really weird way. That's
I've never
actually
seen an action star take someone out sitting down. I wouldn't be able to see a trail.
He does it in every fucking John Wick movie.
That was, I mean, if we really want to go down this Steven Seagal track, I know.
Oh wait, no, I
don't.
got a better one. Like the dude literally, no, dude, the dude literally married a Japanese woman, had a child with her, and then left for the back to get back to the States, and was like getting it on with another woman.
Right.
And he never said a word.
He actually had
That's
two marriages.
fucked up.
Did we really just go on a 15-minute rant about Steven Seagal?
Seagal. Man,
Seagal.
you have no
Seagal,
idea
man.
regarding his talent.
Steven Cigar.
Oh, and Ryan, I think you found. I think you don't have a video store where you're from. I think you found those Steven Seagal DVDs in an antique shop, and the store owner was so old he just said, "Oh, have these. I've been holding them in my cellar for so long, I almost forgot them."
Probably.
Jesus, he's got a catalog. You need to do
All
a
right,
video.
we're gonna switch over from Steven Seagal to Star Wars. I hope you're okay with that, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
from
mean,
one bad
if-
thing to another. Awesome.
Yeah.
No, at least Steven
Damn.
Seagal is better than Star Wars. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
let's not muddy
Current
the
Star
waters here,
Wars.
Dragon Slayer.
What were you gonna
Current
say,
Star Wars.
Trey's, you were gonna say something? Who said something? That's up. Okay, that's fine.
Wakanda forever.
So apparently, there, when it comes to Star Wars, it seems like Star Wars is the brand that people choose to make the most rumors about. Not sure why that is. Maybe it gets a lot of clicks on YouTube. Not really sure. Who knows? But
No,
apparently,
my Star Wars video viewership will prove it doesn't. I'm actually pissed at how bad my Star Wars videos do.
are they really doing that bad?
Oh,
They
dude,
always do
I've
bad.
only ever had 2 successful Star Wars videos out of like 30 I've done, and they were both shorts.
Oh, fair enough.
All the
Literally
rest
the
have
same
gotten
thing.
shit views.
Yeah, literally just-
It's the same thing for me.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not kidding. It was like it's literally the shorts that do well. The damn long videos, it's like the crazies don't want to watch it.
It's very easy for a short to do well. Just FYI, it's a short. That's why. So apparently there was a new rumor that Bob Iger has recently scrapped 2 previously announced Star Wars films. These were films that were announced at Star Wars Celebration, amongst the other like 20 some odd projects. I don't know what the hell the real number was, but I just know it was ridiculous. Now again, grain of salt. It's just a rumor, but it was apparently Taika Waititi's is fully canceled according to this rumor. I know it's kind of up in the air. Maybe he's not done with the script. He's kind of like in between it. I've always said that Taika Waititi, I don't really think he cares about Star Wars. I kind of feel like he is so focused on Marvel and the MCU and Thor, especially. He always talks about Thor. Like Thor is his thing because that is what he loves to ruin, apparently. And I'm trying to find what the other one was that apparently. Oh, Mangold's film. James Mangold was apparently doing a film on Star Wars as well, and that is also being canceled apparently. So
Now, to Taika's credit, he did do 1 episode of season 1 of Mando, and it actually wasn't bad. But that's also because Taika Waititi, he's actually not a bad filmmaker. He's like George Lucas in that you need someone to keep him in check. Jon Favreau likely kept him in check during season 1 of Mando, and that's why that episode wasn't awful. If he had his own Star Wars movie, he would do what he did with Thor, and it would go off the fucking rails.
Leon, did you just place Taika Waititi and George Lucas in the same sentence when you talked about directing a movie? I don't know.
Context is important. I love George Lucas, but we have to acknowledge the reality that George Lucas is a good idea guy, but he does need people to keep him in check.
And he was very able to put those people into his team. You also have to spot your inconsistencies and acknowledge that and say, you know what, I'm going to make a smart move here. I'm not going to make it about myself. And he created Zootrope Media, man. Taika Waititi, with all due respect, Ragnarok wasn't even that bad. I mean, it was just like a.
No, neither is Jojo Rabbit. It's when Taika Waititi is given full reign to do whatever he wants. That's the problem. He's not a completely incompetent filmmaker.
Yeah,
It's his big nasal influence that's gotten him to where he is today.
If I'm also not mistaken, didn't the Star Wars Celebration happen before they actually came out and said that they were not going to be focusing on quantity so much as quality? Like,
Yeah,
didn't
it was
that
before that,
happened
yeah.
well before that, right? Go ahead, Atreus. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, you're a fool if you think that Bob Iger wasn't already thinking that well before. And there was also rumors about a lot of these Star Wars movies not even like, how do you say,
Getting
they're in
off the ground?
pre-production, but more than likely not happening. And then there was the whole situation where Kathleen Kennedy came out. Remember, it's official. I know we keep saying rumors, but it was official that people were saying that Kathleen Kennedy needs to stop announcing stuff so early. And then what did she do? She came out and announced all of those movies, and now we're hearing rumors about a lot of them being canceled. I mean,
I'm
we
not
still like
surprised.
we still don't even know like what's going on with what's this Alkalite show.
The
Like,
No,
it's in
Acolyte,
production.
not Alkalite. Is like you naming the show after a medication. After a Wait a minute.
Well,
Alkalite.
that was going to be my question, Atreus, because I was saying how the reason why I brought that up is because so this comes out obviously well after Star Wars Celebration, right? So my thing was, I feel like they did know this. You know, I agree with you. They definitely knew this, especially Bob Iger, because when Star Wars Celebration came out and they announced all of these shows, if you guys go way back, you can find it on the streams or videos. I remember myself saying, like, there's no fucking way they're doing all this. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
No, they can't.
It is such a grand scale idea that even if they really did it, it's a lot of money to invest. It's also going to be a lot of money to lose, and I just don't see it being possible.
It's the Old Republic stuff that they're gonna scrap. That they're probably gonna scrap because she went all big about that grand scale you're talking about, and she obviously tried to make a big deal out of the Old Republic because she knows everyone wants to see at least a fraction of what a cinematic version of Old Republic could be, besides the Star Wars, the Old Republic trailers, you know. And
well, a lot of these projects, don't forget, were probably put in place when, because Chapek, people forget, Chapek was only fired, 9 months ago. He wasn't fired till December of last year. So a lot of these projects are probably under when Chapek was CEO. So Bob Iger is probably going to want to scrub anything Chapek related that hasn't gotten so far in production or budget wise. That way he can have a clean slate, so to speak.
It makes sense. I mean, if somebody wants a more like downsides example of that, when the Hobbit movies were still in pre-production and Guillermo del Toro left, Peter Jackson did not use a lot of his concept designs. He used some as inspiration, but scrapped everything of del Toro away, and that's why the movies look the way they do, because they had half the pre-production time. So, but here it's like, see this whole timeline, like this is ridiculous. Like if you presented this to me, and with the way people have been seeing the company performing with some of these shows failing or not doing as well as they should have, this kind of timeline does not tell me you're gonna actually deliver on this. It's just it's just a tactic to get some
money
ignorant
and
investors. To get some ignorant investors interested.
They put
that,
more
that
work
timeline
in
right there, ladies and gentlemen, is an FU to the prequels.
Because
the Fall of the Jedi should have been
It's
the
an
age
FU
of the
to the
Republic.
EU.
To the EU, yeah.
And also,
the EU is more fascinating.
There is such a thing as too much, right? And I feel like they are doing too much with Star Wars. I feel like they're doing too much with everything, because the problem is that with streaming, they now have two forms of avenues that they have to keep up with on content in order to keep people interested. Whereas before it was just the movie theaters. Now they have the movie theaters and now they have streaming. So the problem is that the combination of the movies and the streaming shows in between, it's too much, man. Like you're making this extremely convoluted for no fucking reason. You don't have the skill to properly handle it all. That's number two. And number three, it's happening with Marvel too. Like Marvel, this is the reason why they're scaling back on shows, because they were doing too many fucking shows in between the movies, right? You used to have how many Marvel movies per year? Maybe one or two, right? Give or take, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
now you got
three in a big year, yeah.
3 in a big year.
I don't
So
know.
now you got,
I disagree with that.
Okay, let me finish and then you can tell me why. So you got two Marvel movies throughout the year, and now you're gonna have 4 or 5 shows that you got to keep up with throughout the year as well, in between the movies also. And it's just it becomes a point. I think they thought that people were
Characters
actually
lose their
more
magic.
interested than they
Yeah.
actually were, and I kind of feel like this is why the movies are falling off a little bit, because it's too much. Nobody, like, you used to have that hype in between the first movie that came out and the second movie. Now you got the first movie, 3 shows, the second movie, 2 more shows, and maybe a third movie. It gets to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? But you can make the argument, and then a Trey's take over. You can make the argument, well, if it was good, people would eat it all up, because that is true. If you give people the same shit that they actually want, they will eat it up no matter how much you give it to them. Look at Dark Souls and everything. All right, go ahead, Trey, let's go.
No, I mean, you kind of made my point for me. I believe that the Marvel anticipation was always there, and it was going to continue to be there. Now, there's an argument to be made that perhaps the normies was like, nah, we good after Endgame, perhaps. But once Loki came out, like, okay, WandaVision was all right. Then you had Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was okay. But
Yes.
when Loki came out, people were starting to anticipate a lot more. And so I mean, their philosophy changed. Like, they wanted to focus more on obscure characters, and because they got arrogant. They said, we turned Guardians of the Galaxy into household names, we turned Black Panther into household names. We can take any character we want to and turn it into a household name, and they just start churning out garbage. And I just think ultimately, I don't think it has anything to do with too much Marvel. I mean, in a sense, when it's that expensive, yeah, if you're going to keep churning out garbage. But I just think that if the content was good, like you said, that people would, I mean, because it's Disney Plus, and like, yeah, like you could say the movies and the Disney Plus shows, but it's like, okay, these shows are 6 episodes, so you get 6 weeks of them, and you was only getting like 2 or 3 shows a year, and then you get what, 2 or 3 movies, so you're talking about 6 projects a year. I mean, honestly speaking, I don't think that's a big deal. Per my
Well,
opinion.
to be fair though, Trey, it's like this is I do think it's not Marvel fatigue so much so as it's a genre fatigue. And you see this every generation. You know, the 50s you had Western films, then Western films died out, and then in the 60s you had sci-fi films, then sci-fi films died out. The 70s you had exploitation, those died out. In the 80s it moved on. There was a horror boom, then that died out. We saw a superhero boom. We're coming to the end of that. That's dying out. Like, you see this process repeated. There's going to be a new genre taking over soon. My assumption is going to be video game based movies. That'll run its course for probably 10 years. Then that'll die out. There'll be something else. So even if the Marvel movies were doing well, even if they were actually good movies, I think we'd still be seeing them on the downswing, just because we've seen this repeated with other genres throughout history.
You also got to keep in mind too, it's not about just simply, okay, 2 or 3 Marvel movies, 3 to 5 Marvel shows a year. Doesn't sound like a lot over the year, but you also got to keep in mind that it's not just Marvel people are watching. Like, you're also competing against other TV shows that are fighting for people's time. That's when it starts to become the talk of, okay, is this too much? Is this too much from one particular side, when you know that you may not be able to compete against something else that's out at the same time also? You maybe should pick and choose certain release dates, because they used to be very good with their release dates, and they would plan them out. Now I feel like they're just throwing shit out there just to get it out quick.
Yeah, it looks and feels very random. And just to, what you guys been saying, it's all true. But the problem, I think, like the biggest problem is that these companies, they should know that if you pump something up to the point it becomes inflationary, it loses value. I mean, this is how every economy works. So if you pump up the product artificially without a skeleton, like a spinal cord of values, of things that, patterns that get respected, of some tropes that somehow kind of represent this ecosystem, it's gonna just blow up, because it's difficult to create a meaningful character for 3 hours. Now imagine you have to create all sorts of meaningful characters throughout the year that people really feel attached to in such dislocated way, that they're presenting this universe where there is no consistency, there is no pattern, and there is no meaning to these characters. They just appear, do something because it's Star Wars like, because they need to do it, and then they disappear again, or they come back after they're dead technically. So they washed out all the meaning out of these stories.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing.
Real quick, because I got to do super chats. You and then the Trace, and then I'm going to do them. Good.
Oh, sure. Well, basically, if you could show that screenshot of the timeline that they're planning again real quick.
I exited out already. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, no worries. What they're going to do realistically, from what I'm seeing with these upcoming shows that we know about, at least, is realistically, they're going to finish the Ahsoka show. Then they'll release a show probably next year called like Skeleton Crew. Okay. Probably like sometime in next year where supposedly is set like a right after Return of the Jedi. Okay. And Acolyte is not going to be connected to Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, or Skeleton Crew because that's 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So what we can say is that they're going to try to link the Mandalorian show, the Book of Boba Fett show, the Ahsoka show, and any surviving Rebels characters, and the Skeleton Crew characters and their events. They're going to link them all together into the supposed big movie that people are talking about is supposedly going to finish or close out the story of these characters, and it's going to be related to either the Rise of the First Order or the New Jedi Order timeline. And then supposedly
the movie is going to be an heir to the Empire.
But what I'm saying the connections related to them is going to be somewhere around the time of Rise of the First Order or the Jedi Order, and they're going to try to link it to Rey somehow. So she supposedly is a little bit. So they're going to try to connect it all. You know they're going to try this. It sounds stupid, but you know that's what they're going to do, realistically.
Casey, he's stealing your catchphrase.
Damn, it's all connected.
It's all connected.
Trace, what were you gonna say?
No, you good. You got it.
Okay, no problem. All right, I'm gonna do my super chats really quick, and then we'll go into Ahsoka because we're gonna talk about Ahsoka's viewership and how abysmal it is. We got KRG, member for 7 months, says this is a message. That is all. Really? Come on, man.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for the message.
Yes,
we appreciate it.
In a society.
Love is the message, and the message.
KRG for 5 says, I guess killing Bambi's mom wasn't enough. Now they're going for Bambi himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear Power, I guess.
Dear
That
Power.
was deep.
Subtle Deviancy for 20 says, hey guys, can't stick around because of work. Mrs. C encouraged me to be more involved in chat. My DNA report showed West African heritage. This now makes Atreus and I brothers from an African continent mother. Hey, brother.
Poor subtle deviancy. Poor subtle.
I'm Mexican, bro. So I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the blackest, bro. I lived in southern Mexico. You're the blackest Mexican I've ever seen.
I could definitely see that.
know.
Justin Akinsola, member for 1 month, says, tell me if I'm tripping. Bambi and his father, Prince of the Forest, is similar to Atreus. Oh, I'm sorry, Atreus and Kratos.
Yes, from God of War. No, not Atreus. If Atreus went out with Kratos now, I would like to know how you survived and how you end up black, because you were white in that story.
The explosion.
Bruce Banner for 20. Bruce Banner for 20 says, woke Democrat facing expulsion for pulling fire law at government shutdown. Hearing your thoughts, shaking my head 2 hours ago from the time you get this. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Bruce Banner. I haven't heard that story yet, but it sounds like Casey has because it's all connected. Then we got Zephyr, member for 12 months. Thank you, Zephyr. 1 year. That's awesome, man. Says, I think that even if they follow the story precisely, live action Bambi should not exist. It's just a cursed idea. Disney, please stop. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Pretty sure it's not going to happen. We can wish it's going to happen, but like I said, nothing is sacred and nothing is safe. Double Brewski for 2. Okay, Casey, what are you going to say?
No. I didn't know you were still reading. My bad. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Double Brewski for 2. I like the new profile picture, by the way. Check your X under the post for the stream, Hypno. I did, and I didn't see anything. I checked when I saw the super chat come in. I didn't see anything.
Brewski should get banned for saying X.
Some people, it's so weird when I read articles. They're like, they always like to say that a certain person posted on X, and in parentheses they say formerly known as Twitter. I'm like,
they're still trying to bridge.
Why are you going that far? Just you already said X. Just fucking, just
they're trying to.
I say X in all my videos. I always end my videos now with follow me on X. Like that's what it is. It's not Twitter anymore. It's X.
Black people have taken over Twitter. That's why it's called.
I definitely call it Twitter, but
not black people. Apparently, never mind.
Yeah, we got Panther 111 member for 4 months. Says 4 months membership better than the last 3 Star Wars movies. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We also got let me go through all this. Hold on. We got KRG gifted 5 Hypnotic memberships, then another 5 Hypnotic memberships. Then Bruce Banner gifted 5 Hypnotic memberships. CJTJ gifted 5 memberships. KRG gifted another 5, and then another 5.
Wow.
And then Panther 111 gifted 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to everybody who gifted memberships. Thank you guys so much. You guys are insane. Turn the chat green. It was awesome. I very much appreciate it.
I got a drawing for the super chats if you want.
Just throw the drawing. Let's go. Throw it up there. Throw it up there.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
This
awesome.
reminds me of the
time.
Peter
Space
Jackson
craft.
film of the mobile cities. What's that called?
Jerusalem.
Very
went
Final
down to-
Fantasy
I
12.
love
for
the
me.
details.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
all
facts.
from different because I'm
Just
like,
like
yeah,
the boat the
Studio Ghibli,
slaves came
Castle in
on.
the Sky.
Of course you would
said
say
the
that shit, Atreus. And Ryan's going to agree with you.
What
Look,
are you
look,
doing?
Of course.
Ryan's like, yes,
Oh my
yes,
God.
sir, yes.
Coach's drawing is Atlanta if Atreus ran it,
He said it
or
again.
if I ran it for him, because it would be a disaster if he ran Atlanta.
I mean,
If you
it
ran
would be
Atlanta, you'd
it
be
would be
dead in
made
like
out
a
of
week.
scraps. It would
I
literally
don't
be
think
made
it
out
could
of
be
scraps.
any worse than it is now.
I know.
Be
Yeah, true.
escaping
You say that-
Mexicans together just
You
by
say that,
uprooting
and-
the city,
It definitely can.
sending it away.
Damn.
It could get much worse. Anytime people say, "Oh, I don't know if it could get much worse," oh, it
It's
can.
always good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that is
can.
true.
Speaking
Look
of
at
getting
the
much
next
worse, let's
Thank you.
go into Ahsoka because this is interesting stuff. So apparently, okay, Ahsoka, its viewership. I think they announced the viewership numbers, or at least their version of the viewership numbers on the first episode, and only the first episode. They haven't released any viewership numbers for any episode after that I can remember. I don't know if anybody could correct me, but I don't remember seeing any viewership numbers for any episode after the first. And the first episode is always going to have high viewership, right? Like especially when it's a show that people are getting ready to most likely hate on, right? Like you knew this was going to be a thing. Like they had the whole news articles, everything around it was based on feminism is this, this is so amazing, female empowerment, blah blah, and all the trigger words that they know that all the people online are going to just kind of be angry about and jump on and everything like that. So the first episode having high viewership never shocks me. But this is why they only ever they only ever release the viewership numbers for the first episode. They do this all the time. They did it with Rings of Power too. They did it for the first 2 episodes supposedly and never talked about it again. So what do you guys make of this? I mean, did you see this coming? Are you blaming it on wokeness? Are you just blaming it on it being terrible?
I haven't seen a single episode of your show.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I've given up
I
on it.
have.
Like I'm
I
gonna
have,
gonna
but-
keep watching it so I could do my review when it's all over. But I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind at this point. But that's you were talking about.
You're
the
not missing
articles
much.
that were coming out about feminism. This I won't. I didn't see a lot of those articles. I was surprised because I was looking for them, and yeah, you saw them here and there. But there was actually a lot less of those sort of articles for Ahsoka than I expected. And I think there's just general apathy towards the show, even from the majority of Disney fans. Like, yeah, you'll see some people on Twitter praising the show, but they're few and far between. Like almost even Disney stands are kind of united in that this is just here. It just exists, which is almost worse than it being bad for agenda and ideology reasons.
Like Leon, to make
Resources are
it
running out for the endless culture war, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because more and more people are realizing that these shows just aren't worth it, and that channels cannot get the viewership necessary for the topic of Star Wars. In the same way with Doctor Who, it's like beating a dead horse. There's no point to it. So let's move on to something people actually care about, see if there's a controversy, and get some viewership from it.
Well, Miss Sassy, you want to say something? I'll say it after you. No worries.
Me? No, I don't have any.
Oh, okay.
It was me. It
Not
was
me.
me.
I
Oh.
haven't seen a single episode of Ahsoka. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Don't be sorry
Nope.
about that.
I'm
Well,
good.
I haven't either. Just
Look, I've seen it. I haven't watched the 7th episode. I'm working on that comprehensive review. It's just that the reason why people don't are not talking about this show, at least with Andor. I'm going to be honest with you. At least with Andor, they did good casting for when we got closer to the end, and on top of that, after episode, I believe it was episode 4 or 5, the heist episode.
Yeah.
Things kicked up, and all of a sudden, people got more interested as rumors were starting to come out that it's actually a good show, but it's just very slow. However, it wasn't enough to attract the large enough audience that they wanted, which is a shame because it's actually one of the few good Disney Star Wars shows that came out. But they did the grave mistake of making it unbearable to watch for the first half and then made the second half good, which is not a good thing to do with your show. I know that shows need to have slow segments. I do know that, but the slow segments should at least be interesting enough to get you to the point where there's that rise, that third act, and then the satisfying conclusion. Now, as for Ahsoka,
they kind of were, though, to be fair, Dragon. The slow parts of Andor are worth it and are well done.
Yeah, but
it's just not a vapid show. Like Disney and all modern stuff.
It came out of left
rewards
field.
Rapid, mindless watching. And so when Andor didn't, Andor did what a relatively well done, slow paced show would do, people said, "Oh, it's boring. We don't want to watch it." Well, I think that's dude. If it takes losing viewers, stop making vapid, no attention span TV shows and movies, then I'm all for it.
I'm all for it
People
too.
sing the praises of Ahsoka when the Acolyte is eventually released, in the same way that people are singing the praises of Andor now that Ahsoka is released.
Look, maybe
fair,
you're right.
People
Maybe
were praising Andor when it was coming out. It was just few and far between because less people were watching it. But Andor was well received off, when it came out.
I think,
and also, no, go ahead, Coach. I'll say after.
It's just all over the place. People don't trust Disney anymore because how they are throwing out their the products, the way they are paying attention to some products and kind of neglecting some others, aka what happened to Obi-Wan, right? Look at the series, like it's crazy. So people, Andor came, I think, just to the to probably it came out at the wrong time. Also, if you look at the Rogue One kind of scenario, why didn't they think about this earlier? But the problem is, if you watch any like Joseph Campbell interview, I'm always coming back to that. Just watch an interview with Joseph Campbell. Most of his interviews that you can find on YouTube, they were shot on the Skywalker Ranch because he was an integral part. He was the spiritual mastermind of these products back in the days with George Lucas, with Kasdan, with John Williams, with all the other, with Marsha Lucas, of course. She's a genius in editing as well. So all these people, they've really dedicated some obsessive passion to this product to make it the best and most outstanding new age modern mythological story in their time, and they succeeded because they brought a lot of heart and willingness to this product. Now, you look at how all over the place this is. It Kathleen Kennedy, it's all random what she says. Nobody believes in her words. The product's own, they're not meaningful. They are not filled with people on the inside building some sort of a spinal cord that kind of holds up these products. So sometimes there are 3 episodes, okay, and then the rest is not really good. Sometimes the beginning is kind of smudged and then it kind of picks up by the end. Sometimes the beginning is quite good, but to the end it kind of falls off a cliff. So there's always something wrong with them.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. And the problem with Ahsoka, at least, is that like the beginning, the first episode, to be honest, I watched it. I thought, besides like some stupid things and the Sabine lightsaber stab, it was okay. It was whatever. Then episode 2 comes out. I'm like, okay, yeah, fine, okay, I'll keep going. Then episode 3 rolls around, and then we get like this insane, crazy shit happening. And then episode 4 rolls around. It's pretty normal. We get to see some interesting fight scenes, but then we get one where Ahsoka's supposed to be fighting this old man that, like her, was trained in the Jedi Temple, yet both of them are fighting like they're 200 years old, and one of them is swinging a goddamn lightsaber like it's a glow-in-the-dark bat, trying to do some bat jujitsu with this damn thing. And then afterwards, like, you make characters that would never do some, like, Sabine, people were telling me, oh, Sabine has always been reckless. Yes, but she never is reckless to the point where she will literally fuck over Ahsoka because, or even like believe that Ahsoka died immediately, So like, it's just all over the place with the story. And then you include these characters Yeah, that's the thing. Balin could be an interesting character, but the problem is that character will never reach its true potential of being interesting because of the fact that they have to, because it's Kathleen Kennedy's mandate to link it to the
Hold
sequel.
it right there, Hypno.
Yeah.
Hold it right. Yeah,
See
sorry,
that?
Drag,
I
go
could
on.
just
I have something I want to bring
No,
up.
no, no,
afterwards,
like-
you can finish, but
no,
I'm glad
I-
Hypno's not here.
No, yeah, and the thing is, like, this series with Ahsoka, you never know what they're actually planning or what direction is going to. Okay, why are you now bringing Thrawn back if at the end of the day, the main bad honcho, according to Disney, because of the sequel movies, is the first order, but the first order is not headed by Thrawn, yet now you bring him in. So what the fuck is he gonna do? Is he just gonna
Thrawn's
sit in the
been on
shadows and are
Steven
they gonna
Seagal diet, Dragon?
yeah, are they just going to make like a new sequel trilogy to the sequel trilogy plus, where now Thrawn is attaining the role that he was supposed to have had in the original sequel trilogy, yet they
I'm
didn't
sure
do
they'll
that?
do him in eventually. Probably
Well,
have some silly
so
death.
Yep.
But y'all really know about Star Wars, right? Like, you guys are connoisseurs, okay?
Yeah.
The thing about a good production, though, because I used to be like really, the prequels was it for me, right? Just to go back to the movies. When something's made good, you don't even need to know the details of like, well, Sabine wouldn't have went off on Ahsoka this way, this, that, and the other. If it's good, people are gonna watch it. You can tell they're just throwing whatever together and hoping it sticks.
Yeah, but it's not good.
I mean,
That's the problem.
That's
It's
my
boring to
point.
watch.
But that's my point. It's like it's not even like it's not even about even the details that y'all know. Like, why I'm saying that is this. All right, this saga, this movie, y'all gonna bust on me a little bit, but Twilight, I didn't get into Twilight until Breaking Dawn, but it was so good. It was so well done. Like, even the chemistry with all the actors and actresses and everything. It was so good that I brought my best friend along to watch it, and then we went back to
Part
catch
one
up.
or two?
One.
Is she still your
and I knew
friend?
she was gonna say I knew Cassie was gonna come for me, but I'm just saying it's still it was done so good. Like, I never read the books or anything like that. Like, I was just like, oh, this is good. I'm gonna watch it. Like, and even with Star Wars, like, all right, the prequels really did it for me. I didn't know everything about it. My nephew, he knew everything about it. So it's like, hey guys, all right, like I like Twilight, all right, but like no, but it's done good. That's the
Atreus
point.
looks
If
depressed.
it's done good, it's just gonna be good. Even that picture of, like, you can even tell by the costuming that they don't care. Like, you know what else I really liked about Star Wars is that you really believe these people really look like the thing, that the mutant or whatever, any of the stuff, right? You just believed it to be real the way it was done. They took their time. And then if you look at this Nielsen rating, I guess these are the Nielsen overall ratings from August or whatever. Yo, most of the shows on here are like, if not most, what we have, Suits is number one, Grey's Anatomy, NCIS.
Exactly. That's
These
what I was
are
going to
repeat
because
shows.
of the writer's strike, there's been no new content for Ahsoka to compete with. I think if there was other stuff, Ahsoka would have actually fallen out faster.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right about that. But like, even the fact
There's
that that's
nothing.
even on there, because regardless of writer strike, like, it just shows you how like there was just better work in the past, and it's, I mean,
No, but also like in the current day, at least look with Star Wars, like I don't even think a normie can get entertained enough for this kind of show, because number one, you're bringing out a character like Ahsoka, that the only people that will know who the heck Ahsoka is going to be people that either watched Clone Wars or Rebels. Now, it's mostly for the Clone Wars people, because at least for the Ahsoka characters, because that's where you get to know more about that character. And then for the other characters like Sabine and Syndulla, okay, and friggin' Ezra, that's in Rebels. However, you like with a show, you have to focus on the fact that you need to cater to both your fan base and the casual audience, because you want that casual audience to become interested in whatever franchise this show is about, and like get them interested enough to want to find out from the fan base or by themselves who these characters are and watch the other shows
It
and
worked
turn
with
them into
fucking One
fans.
Piece. Well, they took an anime
One
that's
Piece
got
obviously
over
did it.
they took an anime that's
Yeah.
got over 1,000 episodes. They put a live action version on Netflix, and it fucking dominated. So you can't.
That's what I said.
It's like Casey is right. It is a quality for the general viewer issue. Like, do you know how many TV shows I've started and then dropped just because it was the quality wasn't there? Now, I'm a good example of that because I'm a fucking snob. But even if the vast majority of individuals that are just like casual viewers want to turn something on after a long day at work just to turn the brain off while they eat their Salisbury steak or whatever, they're not turning on fucking Ahsoka. They may have the first episode, the first 2 episodes. They didn't go back to it. That's why it fell off, because there's nothing that's keeping the normie here. Like people all the time, like, oh, you gotta stay true to the source material. Well, yeah, you do, because you want your main audience to be happy, because they're gonna talk about it. They're gonna go spread the word on social media. They're gonna talk about it around the water cooler. They're gonna get word of mouth out there. But just because something is inherently true to the source material, that is not enough alone. It's still got to be well made enough that also the normie can, get involved and it be digestible to them. That's why Iron Man worked. That's why early MCU worked. It was true enough to the source material, but still fun enough for the normie. They're not doing that with Star Wars anymore. They're not attracting people who are fans of Star Wars, but they're not attracting normies either. They're only attracting individuals who want modern Disney ideology, and it's I normally do not jump to ideology is the thing that's ruining shows, because now there's a lot more to it than that. But Ahsoka is kind of a special case where it's both boring and has bad ideology, so you're not even getting the audience that Disney wanted, which is the 0.7% of trannies out there in the world.
Well, they need better costume designers. They do need better costume designers.
They don't care. They're not going to get better. They're just going to throw trash together and then just here you go.
Really quick is that just how much it actually fell off. This is within after the first week. So the first 2 episodes, it was at 5th place with 829 million minutes. That's 2 episodes. So take that number divided by half, and that's basically your real viewership. And then within the next week after, it completely falls off the charts after the first 2 episodes. And considering that number 10 is 590 million minutes, that means that it's probably half of what this number was by just the second week and continuing to further go down. So that's a pretty hard fall after your first week. And again, it goes to show that probably a lot of people rage watched the first episode. The true people who wanted to give it a real shot watched the second episode, and then it lost half of its viewership by the third, that's crazy.
I think that was just people giving it a chance, and then I didn't even give it a chance, dude.
Yeah.
I will say though, for one episode, You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah seems to have done very well. So that's and Atreus leaves for some reason.
Well, he heard he wasn't invited to your bar mitzvah. He's like, well then fuck this dude.
So that seems like a show that I should check out, especially because I look like I should go to a bar mitzvah.
That's
but
true.
No, in all seriousness, the drop off of Ahsoka is expected. And to me, I tuned out of Star Wars after The Last Jedi. I watched The Rise of Skywalker. I thought it was an okay action adventure film, but clearly not a Star Wars film. And since I'm not going to financially support Disney Plus, I don't watch those shows. To me, Star Wars is not a TV series, and it never will be. So that's my take.
Were you fans? Were you fans
of Star Wars TV series even before Disney Plus? Well, okay, good.
Now that cartoon they had back in the day on
that's what I was about to, both Droids and Ewoks. I love those shows growing up, but they were aimed at
what
kids.
channel was
That's
that?
the difference. They were
Cartoon
aimed at
Network?
so they had several. They had Droids and Ewoks in the 80s. They had the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars in 2003. They had the Clone Wars series in 2009. Like the thing is, when you make Star Wars for TV, you gear it towards kids because they're the ones that are going to be buying the merch and watching it after school when they're done with their homework and shit like that. Star Wars for TV doesn't work when you gear it towards adults.
But the 2009 Star Wars Clone Wars one, it was pretty all right, and I wasn't a kid in 2009. I mean,
that was going to be my question. I wanted to ask a question to you guys, but first,
you weren't, Casey?
Sassy, you were you guys fans of Star Wars, like the originals? Or are you fans of the current stuff, or you just Sassy Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Sassy.
Yes, I did watch them when I was younger. I did enjoy the originals. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan like everybody else is. but I respect what Star Wars is, and I understand that there's this legacy and this thing that we need to protect. And the originals I absolutely liked, and but I'm not a huge like I don't know all of the lore. You have to understand, I love Spaceballs. I like the making fun of Star Wars. So that's where I get my fun from. But yes, I respect Star Wars. I think there's definitely something there. And I think that some of these newer things are not holding up to the original Star Wars. But yes, I did respect it and watch it when I was younger. Cannoli had me standing in line with our kid several years back for one of the, before it was really cool to like buy your tickets online. And we stood in line to see one of the Star Wars before they got crazy. So yeah, I enjoy them.
Okay, I was just curious. I didn't know the history, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
But my question was going to be, so my issue with these Star Wars shows has always been two things. Number one is that I don't care how good they are, I don't care how bad they are. They're always going to circle back to Rey at some point. They're going to circle back to what made people hate the current Star Wars in the first place. That those three movies really drove people to where they're at now in terms of either being checked out of Star Wars or being so mad at what they did that they spend their time hating on Star Wars when they can't. I mean, either or is fine for me. I really don't care. That's number one. Number two is that they don't know who they're making this show for, or they just don't have the knowledge of who they should be making the show for. The reason why I'm saying is because, like Atreus would always say, a lot of women don't like Star Wars or don't watch it actively, right? But then last like 2-3, not even just black women, seriously, like just women in general, not really that big into Star Wars.
I don't mind it.
Obviously there are women that love Star Wars. I'm just saying, like,
it's a minority.
If you want to go by statistics, it's majority men who are into Star Wars, or even boys and whatnot. So then why are we making so many TV shows about female empowerment, feminism, all this stuff within Star Wars, knowing that that's not your target audience? I don't know if that's them wishing that it was. I don't know if that's them trying to draw in that minority more so. I really don't know. But the thing is, like, it just, when you have Ahsoka, right? And then now you have the Acolyte apparently is going to be worse, because the Acolyte really is the one that's out there talking about female leaders, female empowerment. I forgot what the name of the black actress, the bald one. I forgot what her name was.
I got that
She
clip
is so
still,
annoying. She is absolutely annoying. So
I can play again. He's torment Leon. One more
I don't
time.
want to see her teeth because you can't really see her face. But
I don't want to see her face.
You hit the nail on the head, though, Hypno, because you were talking. The whole reason that Disney bought Star Wars was because they weren't getting enough, money from the male audience, because everyone associated Disney with princesses and whatnot. It was too much of a girl brand, so they bought Star Wars so that they could have something to cater to boys and make money off the male market.
Didn't they have Marvel?
But
though,
then
at the time?
I don't remember who.
They bought Marvel
it so they could destroy it,
like
guys.
3 years before Star
But
Wars.
the thing is, like, you really, I don't know if it, I don't want to call them stupid, because I really don't think they're stupid. I think they know exactly what they're doing. But the thing is, like, you really make it hard to not call you stupid when you must know, like, there must be someone paid a lot of money at Disney to study analytics and all this stuff. You must know who your audience is for your certain brands, IPs, and whatever. But for some reason, the male-dominated IPs like Star Wars and Marvel, they just want to constantly interject feminism and all this other nonsense into it, as if they either believe that they have a large female audience, which I know they don't. There's no way you can prove to me or tell me that Disney thinks that they have a large female audience for these brands.
Can I just say something on that?
Yeah,
as far as the whole Marvel industry, I absolutely love comic book movies. I love all of them. I mean, some of them got really stupid, but the originals. I don't need to see a female represented in these movies to enjoy the movies. I go because I like to see men kick ass. Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, all of them. I don't need to see a woman kick ass. I don't need to feel represented. So I don't know why they're on this kick of having to represent women and make women feel so empowered, because I never felt like I wasn't empowered because movies weren't being made about me and this hero stance. Like, I have to say, and it's an unpopular opinion because a lot of people hate it, but I absolutely loved Wonder Woman. I loved Gal Gadot in Wonder Woman. It's one of my favorites. I felt, but I didn't go, oh, I see myself in her. I just was like, wow, this bitch can kick ass, and left it at that. So people put too much shit into it's comic book. It's fantasy, people. If you need to see yourself in a fantasy movie, you need therapy. It's just a good time. You go to the movies to escape reality. And if you need more than just a good time, you should reevaluate yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's why I've never gone to a movie theater, because I'm reality based.
Exactly.
Well, we have to think about where is Disney at this point? They've pretty much chased away the majority of the autistically dedicated nerds to this shit. Let's just be real now. They
drove them out.
If they weren't as pig-headed retards that they were over at Disney and chased away all these people, then even dudes that would watch this and be like, it's trash, but I'll watch it. But there was malicious intent in a lot of the stuff that they're doing. So now they're just like, well, now we have to reach out to these other audiences that never wanted to fuck this shit in the first place. And because of that, you're continuing to see this these IPs being used to sort of reach out to this group of people that don't care. And that's what they're forced to do at this point, which is, it's on them. It's and sad. You're not going to see, Star Wars recover from this, because now it's dedicated exclusively to trying to reach a demographic instead of just being good.
And it's a demographic that is weak, though. It's weak. Like, women are, let me tell you something. Vex Electronica tried to watch Ahsoka to review it for her channel. She was like, 3 episodes. I don't even know if she made 3. She's like, I'm fucking out. I'm out. I can't even do this. And I should have reviewed it for my channel because it's all like women
really
shit.
Star Wars too.
Couldn't even do it because you know what? It sucks. I'm sorry. It sucks.
Let me just say.
Well, let me show you something real quick before.
Dragon,
sorry,
go ahead.
No, God damn it, Ryan. No, I'm not trying to do that. No, it's actually gonna go into motherfucker. Whatever, I don't care.
Go hanging it out.
You bastard. Why now you got me fucking shade. All right. So look, here's like the caption says. Just say you were just a normie. You had no idea about Star Wars, and somebody presented you with these 2 choices for Star Wars project. Which one would really pique your interest right off the bat?
Not the women. Not the women.
But see,
and
here's
that's
the
coming
thing.
from a woman.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, because the ones on the right are bored out of their minds, and it shows off on screen. Like they don't take anything that's being told to them seriously. And they're always brooding.
Hold on, I gotta call out your math here, bud. That's a stupidly flawed comparison. Imagine if you had taken the one on the left and then you put one of the fight scenes from Ahsoka on the right, then you have a fair comparison. Because the one on the left, there's also downtime. There's also downtime in old Star Wars. I could easily.
I know that. Leon. I'm not talking about the downtime, bro. I'm not talking about the downtime.
Just the picture. Just the picture.
Just the picture.
Leon. Right. But what I'm saying is you cherry picked a picture. That's not a fair. That's just
well, it's kind of like. Let me just say this. It's kind of like. It's kind of like thumbnails. It's kind of like thumbnails. If you see a thumbnail, you want to know which one are you more willing to click on without knowing any of the context. Which are you more willing to click on? And I think that's what he's saying. And I think the broads look bored and they look like they're confused on where they're supposed to be. I want to see some dudes kick ass.
Hold on. You know what, Leon? Fine. You guys keep talking. I'll find a better fucking picture from the show. I already know which one I'm gonna use. Because this motherfucker is like, this isn't an accurate comparison. You need to be more exact.
You have to understand. I agree.
Let Leon cook. Let him cook.
I disagree with your methodology. Like your methodology here was
there you go.
Let him cook.
That's the problem. So when you're gonna make show something Star Wars or whatnot, then and you're gonna be like, oh, look how bad. Like we were talking about like the feminism in Ahsoka. Look, if you're gonna let's talk honestly, because Ahsoka sucks and we all know it sucks, but it doesn't suck for a lot of.
What if you don't know? Listen, that's me saying I don't know anything about Ahsoka. Those 2 pictures.
I never said the woke stuff. I just added a picture of 2 bored women because that's all.
I know, but that wasn't my point, Dragon Slayer. What I was gonna say though was that like if you take Ahsoka and because we were talking a minute ago before we pulled the picture up. We're talking about, oh, it's all women, this, that, and the other. Well, Ahsoka is a sequel to Rebels. Rebels had 5 characters, 2 dudes, 3 women. At the end of Rebels, the 2 dudes are gone. So when they make a show about a sequel, it makes sense it has the 3 women. It's not doing something like, remember when X-Men actually had that line, you should think about changing it to X-Women since the men don't do anything around here. Like, Ahsoka's not doing that shit. Ahsoka's just bad.
But
So
here's
it's
the thing,
just
though.
bad because it's boring.
What if
That's what I'm trying to say.
Somebody like me who has never seen a minute of Ahsoka, I know nothing about Ahsoka at all, the lore, anything. Me dumbly looking at 2 pictures, not knowing any context about either one of them, I legitimately would pick the men picture because the women part looked boring, and that's not knowing anything about Ahsoka. I couldn't tell you one thing about her.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I just don't like the idea of the disingenuous, like, again, because we always talk about how, the left manipulates you, Disney manipulates you, and like, we all agree they do that. So I don't like the idea of us doing the same thing. So when we throw a photo up there and we pick an intentional, boring, dumbass looking shot of Ahsoka,
look, I'll find you a better picture, damn it.
That's right, Dragon. You're an incompetent bastard.
Hold on.
You have
Casey's
to
been wanting
also-
to speak, and then Cassie go after that. Yeah, Casey.
Oh no, I was just gonna say because I am gonna end up having to leave at 10 because of course I have to go to work in the morning. But anyway, so for my it's all connected monologue, but I know. Right. So for my it's all connected monologue, I mean they got us here, arguing semantics, which I like though because it's good for content and it gives us conversation. At least we could conversate on how terrible these movies are. But the fact is, we know culture shapes society. It does. Like I said this before, I didn't realize how much until now when I see society breaking down and I see the culture. So this is what they want. What did Cassie said? Cassie said they got rid of their autistically dedicated, you know what I mean? So she's right. People who were like, yo, man, I'm going to see, even me, anything Marvel was coming out. I'm like, yo, Thursday night at midnight, I'm going to be at the thing. So I didn't even need to see a trailer. They said Captain America 2 is coming out. I'm already there, So they got rid of us, right? They purged us. And then they got a bunch of yes people who just are saying like, oh, we want to see the communist when he's taking over. They put people in communities and then they break down each community too. And that's just it. If you tell me after a writer's strike that this is taking it back to Bambi, all this striking, and what did these people say? We're gonna do something, modernize Bambi. We're gonna make it softer. Y'all
no
saying
imagination.
The same thing. Hold up, y'all saying the same thing from before the strike.
Yep,
nothing changed, which lets me know too. The strike was set up by design to purge out the people who said enough of this woke-ish or whatever they're saying, right? They're purged. This is happening everywhere. It's happening in medical, police, pilots, movies. It's all, you see it. It's happening. And these people, they're going to keep throwing out trash. That's why them girls look so bored in that scene. And it's not even like, oh, well, they probably were just listening to somebody. No, but you could see it in their face. You could see it in the makeup. It's just thrown together. Let's get some rubber heads and put it on top of the thing. It just looks thrown together. It's trash movie. It's trash show. That's all they're doing. That's all they're going to do. Writer strike or no writer strike. And then soon it will. And these people who go back too and help them make this trash, they're going to get rid of you too. Because they'll get a computer program to take care of it all.
Yeah, you just extended a little bit your time, but that will get your destiny has already been sealed, and they know exactly your fate. And you're just playing this time game a little bit to have a couple of advantages, a little bit of privileges, because you're too lazy to create a counter movement. Nonetheless, you know exactly that you are entering the latest stages of the Temple of Doom. So the whole.
All right.
No,
go ahead.
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
No. Look, I'll freaking share it. Give me a moment.
But
I made a better look. I made a better version of the damn screenshot.
It's just to stick with that point. I mean, this is something.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's a nuanced conversation, but to me, it's not. I already see the writing on the wall, and I'm saying to people out here who are creative, do what you got to do to grab on to something and make what you need to make. Because the thing is, and I'm seeing it, people, they see this constant manufactured trash coming out. People want something different. They want something real. People want realness. They do. They're hungry for it. Sometimes they don't realize it until they get it, and they're like, "Dang, this
Until
is
they get
different."
it right.
So
right.
I would have never thought. I would have never thought 10 years ago. If you would have told me 10 years ago, I'd be sitting on YouTube talking to a wonderful panel about this kind of discussion and thinking about different shows I got to put out and people I want to interview. I would have been like, "You're crazy." I get paid bi-weekly. I need to pay my bills and go shopping, and that's but like life happened and things are changing and people are waking up. I'm one of them, and now even though it's a time where like you get tired of the trash or it might seem overwhelming, it's almost exciting though because it's a time of transformation. So I think it's I'm
everything's trans these days. Everything's transforming.
Everything is transformative.
Oh my gosh.
Everything is.
It's back again.
And hopefully Dragon has brought up the picture of Ahsoka doing that.
Bullshit.
Hold on.
Look, here's a better version of this.
Get her point first.
Oh crap! Sorry.
And then you'll show the picture. Cassie, go.
No, but people don't think of it from this perspective too, and this is more of a little bit of anecdotal, like like perspective. But just think of why these like Star Wars, Marvel has dedicated so much time to television. Because to me, whenever I speak to other women, and I'm unlike all these other women out here, they love television shows. Their whole thing is, I just never want it to fucking end. And that just seems that to me, that's more of a woman thing. Like women just love television. They just want something that never fucking ends. And I have never this is the reason why I'm just different from most women. I don't like that shit. I want to watch.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I don't care.
But that I don't know if you talk to like your other female friends, and that's like why they'll watch a TV show.
Shows.
Yes. Yeah, they'll watch a TV show, but they don't want to go watch a movie. Like, they're not into that because if they like it, they're just like, I don't want it to ever end. And it's like, I feel as though like a lot of they're concentrating so much on television, just on that base premise of this will attract women because women love television. They love something that goes on for fucking ever. And that's another reason why I think they are going this way. And like I said, it's more so anecdotal than anything, but I think everyone knows like, females in their life or females that they know that are just addicted to television series,
which is why soap operas were created in the 70s, because women just like things to keep going and going and going. I can't handle it. I need an end.
You have Grey's Anatomy, right? Which
I had to bail on that. It got to be
Grey's Anatomy, right? And then you have Breaking Bad, which is a show that is very popular because it knew when to end. You know what I mean? It went to the 5 seasons. And it's like, okay, we're gonna finish this before it gets to be ridiculous.
Agreed.
It's like Walking Dead, and you can make comparisons of shows that just didn't know when to end.
You made me think of something I've never realized, because I'm an OG Supernatural fan. I was watching it from season 1.
Yeah.
All the male Supernatural fans I know are so pissed it kept going after season 5 when it should have ended.
Yes.
Whereas all the female fans I know love that it went on for ages. I've never made that correlation until you guys started having this conversation.
It's
like,
true though.
It all makes sense.
It makes sense now, doesn't it, Leon?
It's all connected.
Your
camera.
Right,
show your picture. Go ahead.
I got it. Go ahead. Okay, look, I made a better one. Okay, to the left side, for those of you that don't know. Okay, I'm going to give context, but then I'm going to say, do this from mindset of somebody who maybe just knows the Star Wars films, some of the designs. You're not that familiar. You're like, look.
Lightsaber. What's wrong?
So I'll put it to you like this. I would be more likely. Okay, just from looking at it and knowing what I know, I'd be more likely to click on the left. However, the problem is you're not looking at a picture doesn't actually showcase to you just how bad the fucking fight choreography is in Ahsoka. So you can click the right thinking, oh, lightsaber battles, that's fucking cool. I'm gonna click that.
And
then
stop the lightsaber
and you're like, wow, this is really garbage. You know what I mean?
Really
it could go the other way too on the other side. So it's hard to really judge that based off a still picture when you're talking about a TV show. It's very, very hard. But yeah,
I'm doing it from
for your point, I would click the left one. Me personally.
Now look, I wish we had. I mean, if you want me to pull, like, good lord, if I would need time to make that, but I could literally give you a comparison of like the lightsaber fight scenes in Ahsoka compared to like Old Republic game cinematics, because that's really the only thing I have for like Old Republic lightsaber battles. And if I showed that to some normal ass person who's like vaguely interested in Star Wars, they would still want to know more about the Old Republic than Ahsoka. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I get where you're.
Yeah.
I definitely get where you're
trying to
going.
get that point across.
I think that's a far more fair comparison. I just want our side to go back to being the side of logic and being fair and understanding, like using legitimate arguments instead of just doing the right wing version of what the left does and all that. So I think.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to go with that. No, I wasn't trying to go for that. Like if
my goodness,
no. I was trying to go more like I probably could have done that, but that was taking way more time for me to make it. I didn't know we were going to make this kind of comparison, so I just used a picture from Old Republic. But to be honest, with these things, like the Ahsoka show, I noticed that they made Ezra do the thing that Kylo Ren did to Rey, and then Rey did back to him. And I'm just thinking in my head, when they show those kinds of things, how is it this guy, who people only know from Rebels, sure, he's very gifted and whatnot, okay, it's able to stop the lightsaber with just the Force when he could have blocked it with a sword, and yet Master Yoda, who was almost 1,000 years before he died, is only able to block out Force lightning and not stop a lightsaber.
Dragon, that picture on the right hand bottom, I would have actually picked that. See, I didn't see what I'm saying. Like, you see how the normie doesn't know. In the picture, I didn't realize he's using the Force and doing all. I don't know the background of it, and that's actually a nice shot you put there. So they really took time and made something good.
But that's by episode 7. You have to watch 7 episodes. That's the problem.
Right. No, what I'm saying is if they did something good and it looks good, they should stick to the source material. But also for us normies, we will come over and watch too, and we won't know all the details, but if it's good, we're gonna watch it and like it. I didn't know anything about Iron Man, but when I watched it, I liked it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know, Thor. Like I knew a little bit. He reminded me of He-Man from back in the 80s and everything. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I didn't know all of this stuff.
We all know why the women
I found out later. I didn't know. It just was like I just liked watching it. Like it was exciting. It was fun. So a lot of times. That's how I get introduced to a story.
Thor was good until he got weak, and then they played him as this beer belly loser.
And then it was like, oh, all right, like God dang, like we can't have nothing.
Well, because it goes both ways, right? Sex sells. So we all know why women went to go watch Thor for the first few movies, and then they made him fat and ugly and stupid, and then
American. They made him American. Let's just say it. Made him American.
They thought that they can keep the female viewer by making Valkyrie a thing, and realize that was not,
I didn't like what they did with Hulk either. That was stupid. They made all the superheroes weak, and it was just like, come on, this is not what we're here for.
Well, they made them weak because they were making female variations of them. So they have female variations of every single male superhero.
The Black Panther one, I'm not confident.
For some reason, the only way that they can showcase female empowerment is by making the men weaker, or look more stupid, or act more stupid.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It's the only way they could do it.
But remember when they gave us a little glimpse into their plan in Endgame, when it was just like, what the heck happened when all the girls started like walking on the thing? God, they were fighting somebody.
Wow.
Yep, that was at the end.
And they're like, she's not alone or something.
They wanted, she's not alone, and all the girls
they all
came out
walking down the thing, and me and my nephew, we looked at each other. It was like,
What movie was this again?
That was crazy. Endgame.
Endgame.
All
the
girls, they were like, get them,
I
girls.
No, I just remember now, and I was like, moments. They really.
But the problem is that I think at this point they were hoping that they would have gotten their female Avengers by now, because they were trying to do that. They were leading up to that with the introduction of all these female variants, but they haven't quite gotten there yet. I don't know if that's still a plan. I'm sure it probably is, but as of right now, they haven't gotten there. It looks like they're kind of deviating away from that. They're going to the mutants now. It looks like because they're pretty desperate at this point.
They're trying to save themselves from their mistake.
With his purple, with his purple power, done Brie Larson straight in, like purple power.
Yeah, I don't need no female, because and that's what my nephew said. He was like, they're trying to figure out to do like a female Avengers. I was like, oh God, please don't do. Is there something about that? Like, because y'all not
cringy.
Right.
It's cringy.
Let me tell you something.
Like,
to talk about a female, because people want boss woman, right?
Right.
There is a movie from old Hollywood that they keep trying to cancel this movie, and that movie had the baddest boss chick in it. And it is called Gone with the Wind. Scarlett O'Hara, there's not another female
Big
like
facts.
that broad. Like she used everything. She used her femininity. She used her attitude. She manipulated everything, and like she was the hero of. And
She was
to
the
think about how
OG boss
long ago that movie-
bitch.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was.
Yeah.
And like she batted her eyes when she needed to. She had men, like she did
Variety.
what she had
She
to do.
not for nothing. Nobody has yet to eclipse that role from a female's
No, they
perspective.
haven't.
Vivian Lee is one of the greatest actresses of all time. She's in like 95% of that long ass fucking movie, and she held
I
it
thought
down.
I was the only one that said not for nothing. I love that. I always say not for nothing.
Dude, it's Cassie's
That's an Italian
catchphrase,
thing.
dude. She says not for nothing like every fourth sentence.
Not for nothing, huh?
I like that. That's adorable.
That's the Italian in you. Not for nothing, huh?
Hell yeah.
But
Hey, look, that's how it
I-
is.
Go ahead.
What's up?
Sorry. No, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, it's crazy that we all are reminiscing about, like, times when we were able to enjoy a movie or just
But
show, despite the
what?
fact
Hold
that,
on.
like, what
People
What's up?
don't
What you got?
understand the context behind casting that role with Gone with the Wind. It took them like
Okay.
3 years to find the
Remember?
right woman to play
I
that
know.
role, and
Yes.
at that time every prominent actress was dying to have that role. They fought
Mhm.
tooth and nail for it, and they ended up giving it to Vivian Lee, a English woman that had no idea about anything Southern. They actually legitimately rejected her at first, but then when Southern individuals saw the movie, they're like, "Oh yeah, she held it down." Like
She did a magnificent job.
the importance of that role to women, it still rings true today. I think women are dying for roles like that are genuine. There is no genuine roles like this for women in modern days. Everything is faked, or it's like it's a man's role that and the character is changed to a woman. There is
Yeah, it's
nothing
not written for women. You're right.
Yes,
That is
Scarlett
written.
O'Hara is made to is a female. This is not something that is interchangeable. That character is one of the greatest fucking female characters in all of motion picture film.
Yeah, and you watch her grow. Yeah, it's not just like some woman, like a male's role that they put a skirt on a woman and say, all right, you do exactly what men do. No, she used every part of being a woman. And during a very hard time, and as ruthless, and she was a self-centered little something, but she had a heart of gold. It's crazy because, like, at one point, she's like, "Melanie, I hate you, and I hate your baby," and I'm like, "Damn, I don't hate my
Yeah.
baby." Like, but then
that's
like,
go ahead.
just to land it, she's
No,
like,
go ahead.
Yeah.
"Nobody's ever gonna go hungry again." Like, and she's like, "No, but even if I gotta sell it, my family's not going hungry again."
And that's why I was going to say earlier when you guys were talking about Ahsoka, one of the things that annoys me so much is the simple fact that all these female characters that they want to show as female empowerment, they just act like men. Like when you
They
saw
just
those
do.
pictures of Rosario just standing there with her arms crossed, doing the whole like
Yeah.
leaning to the side, acting like a dude, has the stank face, you know what I mean? Or like they'll have the woman fucking sitting down with her legs wide open as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, arms in between her legs. It's like, why
Why
do you
can't
want
we
to
be
be a dude
classy
so
boss
bad?
bitches?
This is why
Classy.
Yeah.
movies like what you're talking about, Gone with the Wind, when you see those actual real female strong characters, it's because they're still female. Like they have that
Exactly.
femininity and they know how to use it to get what they want in the world instead of just saying, well, I can do anything you could do because I'm a woman.
That's
And,
equality
you know,
in,
like,
in the late 20th and early 21st century. How do we make women equal to men? Simple. We just make women men.
right.
There you
It's
go.
more,
It's
it's more
equality.
believable when you use your femininity to become that strong female character instead of just trying to pretend to be a dude. That's when it's like, all right, that's fucking stupid. Like if I wanted to watch a dude, I'd watch a dude. Like I'm not
Exactly.
gonna watch
Right.
a female play a dude. It's
Ahsoka
stupid.
But you know
is.
who has? I'm sorry. Yes. You know who
No,
has
no, what?
promised though in this century to try to switch that around? Jenna Ortega. I gotta hand it to her, and I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
Because
that's true.
she minds her
Agreed.
business. She puts out work. When they were trying to get her to do something stupid on Wednesday, she was like, "Nope," because that's not what the character would do.
Yep.
When I saw they were writing,
It doesn't hurt that she's good looking
slandering-
either. Let's be real.
When I
It
saw
does
they
not
were
hurt,
writing
yeah.
slandering articles about her, I said, "Oh, this broad is real." I said, "She's real," and she said, "I don't want to make movies about women being I know what she was trying to say. She was like, this woman empowerment thing. I don't want to do things like that. You know, I just want to make a real movie about a woman. I just want to make a regular, you know, just make movies. And she caught my attention in the show You. And just how she acts, you could tell. I was like, this girl looks pretty genuine. You could tell she's
I think she changed her mind on the woke shit though, because one of my first videos actually was making fun of her for like she tried to post some woke shit and she got fucking wrecked for it on the internet. And then after that, it was like a fucking switch flip. She's like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna try playing this game anymore. And you know what? I mean, she learned from her mistake. Big mistake. Like,
you see. Magenta one.
Oh, really? Like, does it matter who the fuck writes your character?
You want a woman to write your character, Dragon?
What?
That older white man are they you know?
I don't believe she said this.
Tolkien wrote Eowyn. Remember that shit.
But you know what? In a sense, I do. In a sense, I do agree with the sentiment, but I want female writers to be fucking good enough to do it. Like that's really. I would ideally love.
Older white men are writing women badly now. I agree with her as well. As long as she means she wants women to be well written, because let's be real, most of the people writing these fucking feminist movies are dudes. So it is older white men who are writing women like shit. But that's because everyone in Hollywood is writing women like shit. So
I think they probably turn the words around too. I don't
You've got
know.
to defend the patriarchy somehow. Words.
Around,
You could tell.
I mean, look,
older
you
white
know,
men doesn't mean that they are not capable of writing great dialogues. Quite
of course, and I agree to that too. I don't think that it should be necessarily exclusive, you know, by any means. But I would love to see women actually, you know, being good enough to write these roles. I mean, like, you know, with John Carpenter when he did Halloween, he told his girlfriend at the time, who was Deborah Hill, who was the producer on it, like, write these female characters because I can't write a teenage girl. And at the time she wrote those characters and they, like, while they don't necessarily hold up by modern day standards, I mean, they are what a girl in the 70s would act like, given their you know, Annie and Lori and you know, the PJ Souls character, they all had their own, like, they were believably women by 70s teenage standards.
Yes, I mean, and you know, it always depends on the head of the department. Like, I was part
Spartacus
of
producer. Dang, she got hit by someone who actually made a pretty good fucking show. What a surprise! I know you guys haven't seen the show, but the Spartacus show, it was extremely popular.
The old one, I saw it.
One of my favorite shows.
It is so insane how
an example of a show that didn't know when to end on its good note.
No, like Spartacus, I'm just glad Spartacus ended when it did. Like, is, you know, 4 seasons was enough. The only reason Hypno it happened is because they were going off the real history. Yeah, they added some extra stuff, but at the same time, their main lead unfortunately died of natural causes, and they had to find a replacement. And you know, they couldn't just jump from one way or the other. They did have to explain a lot.
Jenna Ortega is the ultimate proof of a catch-22 for women in Hollywood, because they want women to be strong, but then when she puts her foot down and says, "Hey, I don't like the way this character Wednesday's been written," they call her toxic. Like, all right, fucking which is it? Do you want her to be a bad bitch? Do you want women to be strong, or do you want them to be subservient?
I think we want them to be in their place. We want them to know their role, and if they speak out, shut your
but
mouth.
You know what? Like, Jenna Ortega's problem more than anything else is her own history. She was a part of cancel culture, and now she's experiencing it. It's like, bitch, you were fucking all for it back like 5 or so years ago when you canceled one of your co-stars. So I mean, it is what it is.
I didn't know all that about her. So
it's not hypocritical. If we jump to it being hypocritical, that means we're not giving people to learn from their mistakes and grow. That is what's supposed to separate us from the woke crowd. The woke crowd's like, oh, you fucked up 20 years ago? Canceled, bitch.
No,
whereas
and I agree to that. But people have to actually realize, oh, that I did something wrong and come to terms with that. And there's none of that in Hollywood, sadly.
It's not.
I'll just say for the record, for the record, I haven't changed in 10 years, and I'm 24.
Your hairline has, though.
When I'm saying the best,
and Leon's has grown ever since. Yeah,
when I'm saying the best option for right now is her, remember, I'm talking about in 2023. I'm not giving her 1990s, 2001 standards. I know what I'm going to get. I'm not expecting her to be perfect with all of her. Listen, I don't want to know nothing about her political leanings. I'm sure she's all about they, them, and shit. Please just don't tell me. I respect you if you don't tell me. Once you start telling me, now I'm going to be like, never mind, guys, I made a mistake. I don't want to hear it. I didn't used to know it back then when I liked my actors back then. I don't know how Robin Williams voted. I don't need to know. Right? Okay.
I'm actually more curious how he's voting now that he's dead. I'm sure that Robin Williams voted for Biden when after he died. So.
He probably, it sounds like he probably would have.
Sure.
I mean, it's true, but like this still doesn't change the fact he was a great comedian.
I was making a joke about Democrats voting for dead people.
Oh, I know, but it's all good.
You mean dead people voting for Democrats?
I think the biggest problem is when
they even voted for an old man who was about to meet them in the grave. I mean, go figure.
Democrat
Right, sorry.
would vote for dead people. That's so stupid.
I mean, I'm sure someone's going to vote for Dianne Feinstein. Let's be real now.
Father God.
Is it too early?
It is too early. That's why I don't give a fuck even more.
You're right on time.
Jesus. Mrs. Sassy, go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I think the biggest issue we have this last couple of years is just celebrities opening their mouth politically. I really feel like they need to keep these things separate because you know what, it's personal, and I don't think it belongs in Hollywood. And I think we need to keep these things separate and make your movie, keep your political beliefs aside. And because I think it taints your view when you go and watch. Like, my husband loved Robert De Niro, loved him growing up, and he has just stepped in it politically. He's just made so many stupid comments, and it's so hard to watch your favorite actor when you know they're just an idiot when it comes to politics and their views and stuff. So I think that's our biggest issue too, is that people just need to shut their mouths. Nobody cares who you vote for. Just frickin' make your movie and shut up. That's kind of where
fair to say. I think it's fair to say that we all don't expect, these, ultra rich, ultra famous, ultra elite people to think like us. I expect that. Just shut the fuck up about it. I don't care what you have to say.
I don't care. The ones who do shut up about it, they vote. I'm sorry if this is too loud. The ones who do shut up about it, 9 times out of 10 is because they vote, you know what I mean, red, and that's why they're the ones who keep their mouth shut. So but what you said about Robert De Niro, all that, like. But none of this was acceptable until a certain person became president, and then
he never said anything until then. You're absolutely right.
All the actors came and said,
actors have always been political. I mean, what was that bitch that went to fucking Vietnam and like trying to POWs?
Leon,
like,
no.
Charlie Chaplin was literally a fascist.
All the actors came together talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah, it always when Trump was elected.
Right. Let's not pretend actors were not always like was Jodie Foster was always political.
We're talking about just a few though.
Yeah. I mean, John Wayne
all did a monologue over one guy. Then they
that's you guys being too obsessed with the culture war. That's you guys being too. Actors have always but I think it's more prevalent now.
I don't
hear
what
a lot
people
more
always
hypersensitive
this is to an insane level. It is an insane level. They did one. What's her name? Kathy Griffin. She had the fake head with the blood hang.
Yeah, and she's always done that.
Not in my lifetime. Right though, it got a lot worse when Trump got elected. A lot more celebrities made it known what their political affiliation was. I do agree with you, Leon. I do think that they used to say something, but you never had the influx of celebrities as you do now.
I agree. Obama derangement syndrome. Was there George Bush derangement syndrome?
No, but
I mean, let's be real now.
It's worse now. I agree. It's
worse
now. But
let's be real now, guys.
History where we go back and be like, oh, remember when actors didn't do X, Y, Z? Well, yeah, they did. It just wasn't all over the news. It wasn't all over social media.
And that's the problem, though.
But here's the thing. Realistically speaking, John Wayne would have won far more fucking Oscars if he had just shut the fuck up about being a Republican. That's a fact.
It's true. It's true. It is true. You're right. But Leon,
two things. To be fair, social media has exacerbated the problem.
I
agree with Leon that it has always been political, but because of social media, now it has given them an avenue to give that not only that more reach, but to also for people to take that in and be more aware of what's going on. And number two, I have to do super chats, so I'm gonna do that really quick. Brandon, the anime guy, member for 1 month. Thank you, man. Says, "Oh Lord, let me count the ways that Disney has screwed up everything they have touched. F it, watch anime, read manga, and straw head up." I agree with that. I agree with that. I have
At
been
this
reading
point.
manga obsessively. I mean, the amount of money I spend on manga a month is just really. I have a problem.
Will you become the manga librarian eventually?
I'll put up a picture of my bookcases. It's getting a bit ridiculous. Brandon, the anime guy, again for 5 says just created the fall 2023 watch list, and holy crap, out my watch list is 40 shows large to start with. A good problem to have. Duck Fisney. Nice, appreciate
Good
that.
for you, man. I'm glad.
And we got Atreus for $9.99 with angry face emojis because his power went out.
Yes, his power went out. It's kind of sad.
See,
So
look,
he's-
Wakanda's
There was fan theories
vibranium
in the
fly.
chat that he was dead. So
Yeah. No, you didn't have to super chat, but I appreciate that, Atreus.
Coach sent some goons to go after his ass after he exposed their
what?
secret cocaine deal.
I
yeah.
know that something.
You know,
we got to be
would
careful
come out
announcing
and
their
say.
drug deals on stream.
He now sleeps with the fishes.
This is the best method, man. If you really want to hide the truth, is displayed in everybody in front of everybody.
Killed it.
Oh,
That's rough.
God.
He's wearing cement shoes. If you're gonna sleep with the fishes, you need cement shoes.
Oh,
That's
my
hilarious. But yeah, so
These two Italians,
just
they're
to-
gonna murder
just to
someone
jump
soon.
on, I think I got it. Yeah, I got everybody. Just to jump on the topic. So I mean, yeah, I do agree with Leon, man. Like, we always had super political. Casey, real quick, we always had super political actors and actresses. However, I think what they're trying to say is that we have never seen a combined, coordinated effort to take down one particular person, at least sociologically anyway, like they did with Trump. Like the fact that every single actor, literally, I'm trying to think of. It was a lot. I mean, I'm sure there was some that probably didn't do it, but it was literally probably 95% of the actors in Hollywood, at least most prominent ones, all came together, put out some terrible fucking video on social media, trying to dissuade people from either voting for Trump or supporting him in some sort. So it's stuff like that we haven't necessarily seen, but we have seen actors be political in the past. The only problem is, like I said, the problem has been exacerbated tenfold because now we have social media and everybody has a smartphone now. Like we didn't have smartphones 20 years ago. Now you literally have a computer in your hand and you can go on your phone and you can see, oh, what did this woke fucking actor say? Oh, what did this stupid person say? Oh,
Well, and nobody talked about their political views on talk shows. Like that's how we saw celebrities back then, is talk shows, and nobody really got into that. So you're right. Everybody has a platform to express their opinion. So I do see the point where because of social media, we are hearing what people have to say more regularly, because you're right. The only opportunity they ever had to talk about themselves was to promote a movie on a talk show, and they didn't get into politics. So fair point.
I do agree that there's a coordinated effort from Hollywood that's gotten worse since Trump. I know the left plays revisionist history real hard. They want to say Patrick was black, and I want to make sure that we're not doing the same thing.
We're not.
I feel like that's the only thing that keeps us separate from them.
Do you know why I know when I say it? It's
you got Casey all worked up? Yeah.
No, because like
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's like I'm not gonna keep. You know what?
No, yeah, I get
Listen,
you.
for a while, I used to make sure that I'm not saying the wrong
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, of course.
The left does not care, and if I know that what I'm saying has integrity, I'm good. This is integrity.
Integrity is fine, but be factual with your integrity, though. Be factual with it.
I didn't have social media like this, like I do now in 2016, 2017, and 2018. I used to go on Facebook and like put up my pictures and go on Instagram and put up my pictures. Yet I knew that it was a unanimous thing that we needed to get rid of Donald Trump.
Yes,
I
she's
was
right.
on the left.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? The message surpassed social media and came to my television.
I didn't say it didn't though. I didn't say
no, everybody's saying it's a little different now because we have social media, and I'm trying to tell y'all, I was not looking into all this like on my little Facebook and Instagram, and I'm putting up my self-centered pictures and all that.
Did have it. You're right.
I wasn't, but this television, I knew that nobody liked the media. I knew the actors.
Yeah.
Robin,
But the media is saying it because they're pulling polls from Twitter. They're pulling polls from Facebook. Even if you're not actively on social media, all these
Leon,
people
you
are
cannot
pulling
tell me the
information from there.
experience that I know. It's the experience that I know. I was running around.
So I can't tell you the experience that you know, but you can tell me that my experience is wrong. Hold on, we gotta have some philosophical
wrong, but we have
consistency here.
to also give light to the fact that you didn't have to have social media. My father, who never used the word racism in his life, I almost tripped out when he told him, no, we can't vote for Trump because he's racist. And I'm like, Dad, are you serious? I've never heard you care about anything like how, my father doesn't have Twitter.
I didn't say it was
Facebook
all because of
any
social
that.
media, though, Casey.
Well,
I said social media
my father doesn't have
exacerbated
that.
the problem.
So how did
I
the
said it
message get to
exacerbated it.
No, there's a lot of like.
I'll go on, Cassie. Then I'll.
No, I was
make
just gonna say
my
that
point.
they have projected this message, and when it comes to like these certain groups, that especially ones that feel victimized or like it may not necessarily be someone in your life that is personally feels victimized, but in certain communities, everyone around you feels victimized, and this message has spread among people that do feel victimized in your immediate area, and when they're saying like this guy is the reason why all your problems are a thing, even though he has only been involved in politics for like less than 10 years, but he is responsible for all your life problems, your entire fucking life. Like, and somehow they managed to spread that message among people that feel victimized. And it is a lot of things. And like what Casey always says, it is connected. There is a connection to all these things. I think that you guys are both right, but from different perspectives, and we are kind of coming across a little bit of a clash, but it is like you do have that perspective, Casey, because of where you come from and what you think, but also there is like there is the reality that politics has always been around, but it is very vindictive now more than ever. We used to be able to set politics aside to accomplish goals. Now we can't do that because of how like vitriolic it is.
Right. And my bigger issue
I personally think, ladies and gentlemen, that politics is the problem. It's not the solution. That's why anyone who operates in the political domain, I think,
for
you
a
have
while,
to
it was
put
convenient,
principle
but
aside
now
to be
it's a
in the political arena, whether you like it or not, because
Well,
they're a bunch of fucking snakes.
When we
And that's what I will say.
from culture to civilization
conclude.
for a while, it was okay to have politics to kind of help us to make that shift from culture to civilization. And now it's complete obsolete. And what we're seeing is that politics is trying to establish itself as a new parasite type of elite that can't be eradicated, that needs to be there forever. Let's remember, if planet Earth really is 4.7 billion years old, as NASA is claiming, politics is not even a sand grain, respectively, if you compare it to the world's age. So we are at a stage where we don't need politics anymore. Politicians know that, and therefore they have to create all sorts of subsidiary type of conflicts, right, and controversies where we talk about just to shift away the focus from the elephant in the room, that they are obsolete, right? They made millions on our backs, and now we have computers that could easily do their jobs 10,000 times better because we just need a functioning administration. Have we shown the super chat drawing? No. So here it is.
Oh,
damn, coach, that is some fire transition.
I know, you definitely,
bro. That is
like
wow.
calming this down, right?
Nice.
Can I ask, what is that? A plant shoving a flaming card? Could you show that one more time? Hypnosis, man. I'm just so the man. So
sort of
is it like a weird? Is this like supposed to be a reflection of someone being self-destructive or something?
Yeah.
Am I going around? Am I getting somewhere? I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out.
Quite good.
It's Ryan if he had hair.
Wait, are those sunflowers? Are those sunflowers?
Showing it.
Yeah, they are.
You know what? Let's see. You see, this is what I love about art. You never know. You know, like what someone may be thinking, but you never know the full picture. And even the artists themselves did not know they were creating something extra that they themselves had no awareness. Right. See, that's the beauty of art. It brings people of all walks of life together. And the problem with politics is I know that they are necessary to an extent. However, what has but what has happened?
Of the name itself, it means a poll. It means you have to take a decision.
Yes, to bring people of varying beliefs together in some sort of consensus that is at least you could say a compromise for all. Now that was of course that's one of the many meanings for politics, but at least what I believe is that with the rise of the internet and also of like the advent of social media, as many of you have said, it seems that everything lately has become politicized. In the past, at least, yes, people did have political beliefs and so on and so forth.
Atreus is black. I mean,
he's back.
He looks confused. He looks confused.
Really
He
quick,
avoided the
two
hit.
things. Two things. Number one, just to address people in chat, nobody's fighting, okay, on the panel. Like,
we're not.
We
No.
have
No,
hold on, let me finish. We have disagreements because I say all the time, if for some reason people just don't believe it, but like this is not an echo chamber channel. We have disagreements all the time, but we still talk in the chat. We still have a hangout and everything like that. Like, there's no fucking like actual argument here. It gets heated, yes, but it's not. There's no like arguments.
I
like,
love
actual genuine
Leon's hair. He
arguments.
knows
And
it. He knows he's got the hair game.
Two,
I love your
Casey,
tattoos.
do you have
I mean, to be fair, Casey also got hair game today too. She's looking
Actually, without a doubt, like Casey is
Saturday
without a
night.
doubt my favorite political YouTuber. Like, there's a reason her and I
didn't think we were fighting.
Casey,
No, we're not
don't
fighting, but
agree. I still watch every video she does. We're gonna have disagreements. That's awesome. Like that's
we're not fighting. It's just a lot of people they're not used to actual like discourse like that, so they just take it as fighting.
It's called being respectable adults, and people have conversations, and you can disagree, and you can politely disagree. It's very healthy.
Casey, do you have to go? I know you say you have to
Yeah,
go.
I have to jet.
Oh,
I know, right?
Who's Leon gonna
Just
fight
talking
next?
about Uncle
Casey,
Trump.
do your
I have to-
outro, and then we're gonna go into another topic.
Oh, we got Atreus, so it's fine.
Atreus wants to say something because his eyebrow is very heavily raised.
What up, my brother?
Oh my
Hey,
God.
man.
That is the
Atreus,
most
is it
white
quick?
man
Quick?
waste.
Let it out. If not, I'll wait for Casey to say the outro.
All right, y'all.
It's not
listen-
quick. Okay, Casey, go ahead, go.
Oh. All right, y'all. I'm like, all right, y'all.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I do have to jet, so I'm not gonna make this too long. But guys, check me out on That Girl Casey. There are certain guests that I have. Well, there's a particular guest that I'm trying to get on my channel, and I am kind of close to getting this person.
Is it
So I'm
Tucker
like,
Carlson?
guys? Huh?
Is it Tucker Carlson?
No, but it is
Damn.
a very
Ooh.
it's like woof. But you know, we're still praying for me, y'all, that everything goes through.
course.
But I did make contact. Anyway, so other than that, yeah, That Girl Casey, check me out there. You can check me out on Twitter, you know, for X, whatever y'all call it now. That Girl Casey 1 on Twitter. Yeah, and just, you know, like, listen, it's all love. But you kidding me? Like, I had real family stop talking, like cousins stop talking to me over my vote, which is insane. I have more fun with this panel than I do with like a good 70% of my extended family. So there's no way that it's always love. It's always love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's exciting to see the passion when we all talk about these things that matter. Because like I always say, it's all connected. So we're talking about all the stuff that's connected. So I'll see you guys soon. All right. Bye.
There you go.
Pleasure to meet you.
Bye.
Take care, man.
Appreciate you hanging out. All right, Trace, let it rip.
Stink eye and everything.
Don't let Hypnotic lie to you. I hate all of you. All of you.
Even me, I'm new.
I'm sure you do. That smile
Black
coming
men.
through like
Sassy
you
just
know,
got here.
You black men do nothing but hate. No wonder Tupac Shakur is dead. No wonder Barack Obama became president. All you people ever do is hate things, destroy communities, rob stores. This is why I support Trump's new policy in regards to dealing with your kind in store.
Fuck. Damn, that was
that was
strong.
I love Negroes.
that you know, Atreus, that honestly that came from deep, man. Even I'm stunned by that. Like Atreus' face,
was-
how I look right now.
Now,
That's
fuck off
amazing.
Back to Wakanda, where you belong.
That's
strong.
like second. That's like the second class. No, that version, that statement is like the second class version of the N word. Shit. And he dropped his and he dropped his lamppost. Mike
There's your mic drop, you African American asshole.
Oh my God.
Atreus,
well,
the African American asshole, live. From
I think
my God.
I think if you're judging
land.
color by assholes, I think a lot more people would probably be African American. I'm just saying.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
Sassy, how you enjoying being on the stream?
What up? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Whoa.
We did say the last
I like
hour.
Atreus.
we were
He's a
saying-
really nice guy.
Whoa.
You can't shoot me
It's
from
time for Atreus
5,000
to
miles
fire back.
away.
It's time for
Wait,
Atreus to
wait,
fire
wait,
back.
no. We're not gonna speed past that. I'm gonna get to Ryan in just a second. What was that? Was that literally a confession of the color of your butthole live on Saturday night?
Sir, how can I see my own? Okay.
Oh my god.
Woo.
I
Oh
mean,
god. What?
there's some very talented people out here, and
Hey,
Hey,
Atreus,
yo, I ain't
Atreus,
one
you
of
wanna
them,
you wanna
dog.
get under Ryan's skin?
Yo,
I got a
son.
perfect one for you. Just mimic
Wait, let
this.
Atreus finish. I
Oh,
want
no,
Atreus
no.
finish. I wanna
Yo,
hear this.
this
You
dude
wanna
just
hear
said
it?
some of the most heinous shit I've
protection.
ever heard on this. And
I
you
don't
want to
need
run up
protection.
on me? Yo, listen, sir. Look, I
Let
just think
the
you don't
woman
want to deal
defend
with
you.
Ryan right now. I'm just saying.
Why are you
You
calling
just
a
skipped
black
over
man
all that
sir?
crazy shit he just said to go at me, bro.
I was getting to it.
We
I was
throwing
getting
hands?
to it.
We throwing hands?
I don't need protection from the Neanderthal that
You
didn't
going in a
evolve.
bantamweight?
You're calling me a Neanderthal. You're the black man here, not me.
No shit.
There
No
was no
shit.
evolution. I mean, listen, dude is 23 with the hairline of a 60-year-old. I would be that
24.
miserable if I was him as well.
Mine ain't painted
Look,
on,
Atreus, just if you want to get back at him, just basically do this. It is
Can you do this
10:22
with your hair,
p.m.
Atreus?
It's about 3 o'clock in the fucking morning over here, and I think I have just revealed myself to be quite the racist, but at the same time,
It's 3
they have
o'clock in the morning,
revealed
Dragon,
that my
and it's brighter
butthole
out
is
there
as
than it is
black
in
as him.
Atreus's flat.
So I
Dude
truly
literally
am
has
not a
cotton
racist.
field on his forehead. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here?
What is this trash? This is turning to trash.
I'll put you
section.
back
What
in the
fuck?
Democrat
We got
plantation if you keep
Ryan
going
Ryan
on, Atreus.
cooking Atreus cooking
This is
Ryan.
turning into Jerry Springer real
Yeah,
Good
fuck
thing
he's
you're not
revealing
monetized on
himself.
this stream, sir. Good thing you shut
Too
your
much-
monetization off.
I
Too
mean,
much
even if I
fucking.
didn't shut it off, I would have got demonetized anyway. So it's
Yeah.
Yep.
it's not a-
I mean, look,
that's why I'm so thankful for all the super chats. Thanks, guys.
you know, when the heinous crap has come through, we did tell you, Miss Sassy, like the last hour is usually where all bets are off.
I'm fine
We
with
did
it.
say,
Listen,
and look, it's the last hour. We said
I
it.
think it's great. I am all for this. If you can't laugh at yourself, I don't know what
Yeah.
you can do. I am all for it. I think this is great. I am big on
Thank
picking
you
on
for
yourself.
The endorsement, Sassy. You're welcome on reality based with your husband, and you can bring your daughter.
Why
and the
do I
rest of
have
your
to bring
family on
him?
the show.
Why do I have to bring
Here
him?
for your life.
He's
Because he
been
needs to
on
tell you
Because
what to
you're
do in
married,
Ryan's
and
eyes.
because you're married, and according to the red pillars, you're showing submission to your husband by
you literally
by
just
bringing
heard
him
Ryan
over.
go off on the most racist rant imaginable, and you don't think he's a sexist also? Like, why are you even asking?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
Ryan's
look for
gonna
the best
ask
in
for.
people. I look for the best in people. It's a huge flaw of mine. I
Oh,
see the
man.
best in everybody.
I'm pretty sure
I'll
Ryan's
tell-
gonna ask your
I'll-
husband for written permission for you to appear on reality base.
Oh,
Well,
I will ask him because I'm not words. I'm not going to approach someone's
Hey,
wife.
Hypnotic didn't ask my husband if I could be on this show because
Oh
guess
my.
what? I'm my own fucking woman, bro.
Oh,
Hypnotic is
hell
Puerto
yeah.
Rican.
oh, look at that.
Yeah, I really don't
All
ask
right.
for permission.
Black
for
Andrew
that.
Tate.
I mean,
Not
I
me.
will
He sent
say
me my
this.
own message, and he said,
Most-
"Listen,
Hypnotic. Puerto Ricans tend to be messy like that, if you know what I'm talking
Look,
about.
I don't talk about it this. I don't talk about it this often because
Damn,
I
bro.
normally
That's accurate.
express how I'm so happy that my mother isn't white, but I'm also extremely happy that my father isn't Puerto Rican because Puerto Rican men are extremely submissive. I'm just saying they're a little too much, bro. Y'all let the women
I
run the
think
show.
you've been meeting the
What
wrong
kinda-
Puerto Rican man if you. If you
What
do
what
that.
Puerto Rican men have you met? All
That
the ones
is-
I've met, they just
trust
wanna
me.
they just
There's-
wanna fuck and wanna like
That's
fucking
because you're
submission.
surrounded by all
No,
those Philly
look.
Democrat Puerto Ricans. That's the problem. Like you're
Like,
fucking.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
what
Well,
it is?
New
Philly
Yorkers,
Hey,
more
Cassie
so
gets
New
to showing-
Yorkers.
Cassie gets
No,
to
that's
showing
just
that
pussies.
butthole and they start submitting. That's what's going on.
That's what
Hey
it is.
yo, what the fuck?
Bro,
All right,
you just say?
let's talk final topic real quick. Real
Oh,
quick.
we just
Let's
got one
talk-
left. Oh,
So, yeah, we got one left. Let's funnel the interesting topics into this. So this is your people, Ryan, and I know you're not gonna understand because the skin color don't match. But you got an English actress by the name of Kathy Tyson. Okay, so your people, Ryan. I don't care what you say.
Is this Cicely Tyson's daughter or something? Because
I
that
have
would be
no
a true
idea.
shame.
But Kathy Tyson
Great
says that
actress.
she finds the term woke to be just as bad as a term as an offensive racial slur. And we all know the slur that she's referencing. Go ahead, Trace. What are you gonna say?
Midget.
Why does she? Oh God. Go ahead.
Well, I was
Sorry.
gonna say this is exactly what we talk about on my channel when I say feminine warfare, the manipulation of words and their meaning in order to paint a specific narrative about a person or a thing. This is an attempt to make the word toxic to where if you say it, you're automatically deemed as a racist. Is that? But you're not gonna stop me from using it, you woke moron. Like, what are you talking about? And I used a hard R every single day of the week.
I know, that's why I asked you earlier about this, because I thought it was pretty funny that this is coming from someone who probably in her time has definitely made a few white people feel bad for even thinking about the N-word, let alone saying it. And now you're trying to compare the word woke to that word simply because that one offends you more, I guess. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like if you remember back, I think this was a few months ago or maybe even a year ago now, when they tried to take the word groomer and turn it into like a right-wing thing. Remember when everybody was calling the LGBTQ activists like groomers, and they took so much offense to that they tried to make it into a slur. I actually think that it was a bannable word on Twitter, I think, for a while, or YouTube, one of the two. But it was a bannable word.
It was
for
on
a while.
Twitch, I'm pretty sure.
On Twitch, you could get banned for that. Yeah.
Some platform, I don't remember which one, Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. One of those platforms banned the word groomer because people were using it so much, right? And it's the same thing now with woke, because like Leon says, woke is like, we use the word for everything, right? And we probably shouldn't, but there are a lot of people misusing the word, and now it's gotten to the point where it's used so much and they're so offended by it that they're going to try to do the same thing they did with the word groomer and turn woke into an offensive slur.
Well, it
I'm
sounds
so
nicer than
anti the
brown
word woke,
woman.
but now that I see people trying to take it away,
whenever-
I feel like, fuck, maybe I need to use it more now.
Go ahead, Trish.
Whenever I think about the word woke, I just think of Ryan Cannell, like face red, screaming at the top of his lungs, making his title to his newest video just woke garbage in all caps. And that's part of what gives it. That's probably what gives it its bad like reputation. But I don't care. I'm still calling you a woke moron.
Hey, listen, using woke garbage gets clicks for sure, without a doubt.
It always does.
Honestly, it's pretty damn hilarious when Ryan. I just want to hear him do it live one day, just like him,
like he does that thing where he's like,
he's bouncing up and down in a chair. He's like, these woke fucking freaks, these woke fucking garbage freaks, and I'm like, dude, just let it rip.
And his face looks like he's about, like his forehead vein is about to burst.
Yeah, he gets red because he's so white. He gets red fast. It's fucking great.
No, but the thing is, the term conspiracy theory stems, it comes out of the CIA. They invented this. They coined this term in the 60s to kind of, disperse all the, pretty good theories that were popping up, in 63 after the events of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. And then, the 60s were basically a big slaughterhouse for every political adversary of the agenda. So this is how far back this whole rabbit hole actually goes. People sometimes, when they look at contemporary developments, they have to actually look back 20-25 years to understand where one of the roots of the actual development actually kind of is located. So they always use that. They always turn it around us. So they kind of de-weaponize the argument by coining these terms and calling everybody out who's using these terms afterwards. But it's all their invention. It's all coming out of their field, and they get mad if you trespass the rules that they think that they everybody need to observe in order to kind of maintain that lie, that status quo. Everybody in the 60s knew, like, my father was a police officer, right? And in the 60s, he was on duty. He was active, and he was fighting like real criminals back then. Like in the 60s in Italy, he was on the, he was a highway patrolman. He was really like shooting people over.
Damn,
right?
he was in the mafia and a highway patrolman.
And
God
in
damn
the 60s, when they heard about JFK, nobody believed that in Italy and the police force. Everybody knew that this was some sort of like an internal conspiracy. And therefore you were not allowed to speak about that inside of the police force. And so therefore this term was coined. Back then it was a conspiracy theorist, like that would be somebody who wants to kind of, like a fascist, of course, like someone who is an extremist.
Right.
Dealing coke with a cop father is crazy. I just want you to know.
You know what? You know what?
Same with having a father that makes the crack that
You
you,
know what?
sort of
Yeah,
sell.
You know what? Like, funny story. Just
You
to
three-
complete this, my
Hold on.
father was,
Yeah.
even though it's hard to believe, my father was really one of the, he was like some sort of a.
He was a
serpent
crooked
type
cop?
he was not a crooked cop, believe it or not. He
Oh.
was not accepting any bribes, and that went so far that his colleagues, who were all accepting bribes back then, were so mad at him and so upset, and also suspicious about him, he being from internal affairs or whatnot. So they tried to frame him. So they gave him like this birthday gift, which was like a wool hat, and the same wool hat, the exact wool hat, was also used during a robbery. And so he was arrested for a day, framed for that thing. Like, really, he went through that whole story, and then he left the police force because he he realized there are more crooked cops in my unit than like mafia bosses that I like to fight outside of my unit. So it's better I leave. And
So what you're
just like-
saying is basically the movie Serpico is actually about your pop.
Yes.
Do it.
Literally.
I wish my pop would. He was a cool, like, my father is a cool guy. He's a bit of a Serpico character. He's great at, playing
he was
games
Serpico.
and gambling. Yeah. And he was like, he was a private investigator after that. He could easily be like, one of those great poster child, type of cops who really kind of unravel the mysteries of, corrupt, agencies inside of the police force. But, man, you're risking your life. You're risking your existence for doing that.
All
The
right, let me
fact we
call-
got
let me
such a
call
great
out-
story
sorry.
time.
It's okay. I just want to
Sorry.
call out the super chat and mention something in this article that I find to be pretty stupid. We got Chrissy for 1999. Thank you so much. Says rock on panel. Love y'all. Hypnotoad hype. I appreciate that so much. I think that was that was the only super chat that came in. Thank you, Chrissy. Much appreciated. So this comment right here, just to go back to the topic, was this is pretty ironic, and she contradicts herself literally in the same paragraph. So it says, noting that she would have never done an interview with the Telegraph when she was younger due to the publication's conservative leanings, the actress explained that she had since learned that it's great to talk to people who have different views than you, an outlook she attributes to her time at Brunel University in West London, whose curriculum taught me how to open my mind to different viewpoints. So she says she went to school and learned how to take in different viewpoints and different ideas, but then she literally said in the beginning that she would have never done an interview with the Telegraph had she known about their conservative leanings. So you're not actually open to different viewpoints then. You're actually not trying to
So what
learn
happened
anything
there
different.
is a lot of times when these people get to talking, they hear themselves saying nonsense and they try to correct it really quick. So what it was is she said that she would have never did an interview with the publication because of the conservative leanings, and then she realized that made her sound like a damn maniac. So she tries to correct herself mid-sentence. It's a tactic that not just lefties use, but a lot of people use when they try to sound intelligent and they say something that they know sounds stupid and they try to correct it mid-sentence, and they end up contradicting themselves.
Sometimes the greatest sign of intelligence is knowing when you should speak something that you're knowledgeable of and when not to speak and just be silent. If more people knew that, and also more of these actors would just act like Keanu Reeves.
I was going to say,
it would be
thank
better.
you, Dragon, now
Yeah.
Hypno, because, you speak too much.
What's her name? We should all go to Twitter right now and just all of us comment woke on her page.
Woke.
I think we should make it into a thing. I'll probably add an emoji, depending how many more members we need. I'll add an emoji with the word woke, and we'll just keep it like an inside joke. So chat can spam the word woke and make it a thing. But apparently she also says that the terms woke and race card are deeply offensive. Race card is deeply offensive.
Atreus, as someone who plays the race card quite frequently, what do you make of this?
Yeah, we really need your deep insight on this, bro.
Deep,
says the white guy.
Hey, I'm just being an honorary, black white dude. I'm just saying, hey, look, could you please explain to me, Mr. Black Man, exactly how this race card works, and is it effective at least 50%
Your
of the
people
time?
can't even name countries from their own continent.
Yeah, we should not let that shit.
She actually seems to try to double back a little bit. It says the term race card is thrown in your face if you make criticism of
I
anything.
can't believe
which
this.
I don't think that's true, because it's actually thrown in someone's face when they get an advantage over someone else simply because of their skin color. I've never seen anybody say race card when they're criticizing something. I don't. Anyway,
Mhm.
And then it says even the term white privilege is very, very divisive. I'm not about sides. Well, you sure don't.
But you're
sound
taking
like
a side by the way you speak.
Everybody
and act.
takes.
It sounds like she's trying to play the fence. That's really what it is.
She's
But
trying to
not
play
doing a
both
very-
ends of it.
She's not doing
Yeah.
a very good job at
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? It's
You
pretty,
know,
it's pretty easily seen through.
You know, Trace, I'm kind of curious about this, but
Mm-hmm.
like at least more like with the black actresses or actors that say statements like this, do you really think that have at least, you know, some of them truly believe what they're saying, or that they just say this to look good so they get more roles or more opportunities, or just to look good in front of everyone? Like, what do you think about that?
No, I think a lot of
I'm
them
curious.
truly mean what they're saying.
Really?
And you
Ooh,
have to,
why's
you
that?
have to,
I want to
you have
know.
to
I want to
think-
know.
You have to think, though, this is a British-based actress, I believe, and
true.
the British establishment really don't have that much opposition against them. Lawrence Fox was recently cancelled for saying he wouldn't shag a journalist, and you see that, unlike the United States, in the United Kingdom, freedom of speech is not guaranteed. Most prominent creators focus on pop culture, because if you focus on politics, you will be purged and cancelled without hesitation. That's why, in regards to the British establishment, whether it's in mainstream media, entertainment, or politics, there's a lot less criticism. That's why I would encourage my fellow creators across the pond to hold the British establishment's feet to the fire, especially you libertarians, because we really don't have a fucking libertarian movement over here. They laugh at fucking libertarians over here. They consider
To be fair, they
people
laugh
like
at them over
Leon-
here too, bud.
They consider people like Leon and Cassie and all other libertarian thinkers to be a fucking joke in the UK. And I'm sure you'd consider our establishment to be a joke too. So
No, yes. The fact that you guys actually still have a fucking monarchy in
Yeah.
2023, that in itself is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
You guys over there across the pond, that country deserves to fucking drown.
and that's why
Pronounce the letter R at the end of your words is a fucking joke.
That's why I like stories and reports like this, because it holds.
See, you did it right there.
British-based
Reports. You didn't even say the
people to the
R.
fucking-
Reports. There's an R there, you British bitch.
No,
Yeah.
report.
Report. Yes. Quite. Oh god. No, really. I'm. You were talking about like the Lawrence Fox guy, and I was kind of interested in hearing that. So what I understand is the guy got like freaking attacked everywhere because I guess there was an interview that they were talking about because the actor is now a politician, and so they were just having a talk segment, and he just said that he wouldn't want to like shag a
demeaned-
journalist that he was talking to, right? Could you give?
He essentially demeaned a female journalist who has constantly belittled male depression and suicide, gave her a taste of her own medicine, and the British establishment responded by purging the fucker from GB News. And thankfully, GB News is showing their colors. They're throwing contributors under the bus, and it just goes to show it's rules for thee, not for me. That's why, for me at least, folks, shouldn't engage with the mainstream media. They are the past. They are dinosaurs. They've had their time to rise. Let them fade away. And that's why, personally, I would never engage with establishment forces, whether they were in favor of what I had to say or not, because they are fucking snakes. They should not be trusted. And in my view, it's the age of the creator. So essentially, mainstream media, go fuck yourselves, because if the British establishment knew what I just said to Atreus some time ago, I'd probably be arrested. Right.
No,
right
yeah,
about now.
and you know the crazy thing is like when he said that he wouldn't even like shag her, like after she made all those comments, like I don't know why, but I always notice that the second a man says to a woman like that, I wouldn't even like screw you. Sometimes I feel like at least 75% of the comments that come afterwards or the actions taken afterwards are mostly born out of personal anger at the fact that a man said they don't find. One man said they don't find that specific woman attractive. When at the end of the day, everyone can say whatever. But then if she says the opposite, it's like, oh, it's completely fine. Like, no,
We're
no,
talking
bitch.
about some ugly middle-aged white bitch. Is that who?
I
we're
mean, I'll show
talking
you a
about?
picture. I got it pulled up here. I'll show you. Okay?
9 times out of 10, the woman that talks out like this probably
Here you
wouldn't
go.
even fuck themselves. Not for
Look,
nothing.
you women tell me this. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with the man, but more for being a total bitch. Show it, Hypno. I got it already.
No, but I will say though, ladies and gentlemen, there is no resistance here. It is very, very small because people will be purged. They will have their livelihoods taken away from them. They will have their freedoms taken away from them. People getting 5 to 10 year sentences for speaking their minds. People getting fines if it's a big furore because the establishment knows that you shouldn't cause a controversy. If you want to do in a critic, you do it quickly and quietly. And this creature, who is no doubt, without a doubt, being supported by progressives and even fake conservatives in the UK. This creature will get a promotion in some way, shape, or form as Lawrence Fox gets his second cancellation.
She looks like a British Ann Coulter. Like if you could just be like, "Hey, I wonder what would happen if Ann Coulter was British." It would just be her.
Yeah.
I mean,
damn.
Why did you have to give me that picture, Leon? God damn it!
Because I'm a wordsmith, man.
A wordsmith?
That's
no.
As I said before, and as I will say again, I welcome fellow creators from across the pond analyzing British-based establishment fuckers, whether they're in mainstream media, entertainment, or politics, because you guys, in my view, will be more able to wake up folks on this side of the pond than say, me, for example, mainly because you're more talented, but also because you're
I
far
only
more
get talent
free
has to do with
to
it.
speak
We
your
just don't
mind.
go around screaming tranny demon as often, so we're
Oh
able to
my
get
God.
to people quicker.
That's only in the conclusion of every video I've ever made. Well, not every video I've ever made, but recent videos I've made.
Yeah, I just find it, I just feel as though England are a joke among societies, particularly because you literally hold a monarchy full of white people that outright say we're better than all of you, and then y'all want to play, well, we care about minorities, and it's like you're talking out of two sides of your mouth as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
You know,
they
with
have
the way that
taken
you're saying.
control of our capital. People who look and sound like Atreus have taken over our capital. They're taking over our major cities. They are causing chaos. They are causing violence. That's
I mean,
why I don't
honestly,
want...
they deserve it.
Ryan, you're in
I
Wales.
don't
You
want
don't
these
have any
fuckers
major
living near
cities.
me.
I mean, look, I'll just say this quote of what she said about that thing. She said, "Tell me," I like the end best of all. "I'm not naive. I know that men talk like that about women, but this was on national TV. It was demeaning. It was dehumanizing. As if it was an option for him to have sex with me. As if men get to look at you and decide if they want to. Unforgivable." She said the worst part of the experience had been explaining it to her father. And the dad basically asked, "Why would he say this? Have you dated him?" And he just didn't get it. And then she goes on saying, "But my parents didn't go to university. They had ordinary jobs. I've always been proud of the fact that I was able to get to this point." And then she says, why should my choice of political reporting mean I have to contend with this? And I'm like, bitch, you're a political reporter. You have to contend it no matter what. What do you mean?
Imagine getting
It's
a
the
job
entitlement.
driving trains for a living and being like, "Oh, why am I around trains all the time?"
Yeah, these people really look down on you if you haven't had a university education. These people really look down on who should be their own supporters, people who work hard, who pay their taxes, who have, the support of the authorities. But creatures like, I think her name is Ava Satina, very British name. Creatures like that look down on their core supporters because their true core supporters are young people who are indoctrinated in universities and are basically foreigners who are brought in to vote for the party who wants to bring foreigners in. Sorry, Atreus.
Oh God, that is. I do want to say one thing. Apparently, I didn't do that in a British accent. I completely forgot she was British because she just sounded like a total like a total bitch, honestly, like just an entitled bitch. So I kind of went with that.
So you immediately thought she was from California.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Why should my choice of career, political reporting, mean I have to contend with this? If I had been the producer on that show and the presenter wasn't listening to commands to shut it down, I would have taken that show off the air, no question. It should have never been allowed to go as far as it did. Is that better?
I wonder what she thinks about
I think
Russell
you want to
Brand.
be a voice actor.
Every time I think about England and how they've just let their country go to shit, and how like America is, slowly following suit, I'm gonna have to go out and buy yet another box of bullets. So yeah, thank you guys for reminding me of that.
Well, that's the
Triple
thing.
C is
You
savage.
make
Minecraft.
you make the country docile, and eventually it makes it easy to take over. It's kind of
Yep.
I mean,
kind of the playbook.
Golly, I'm sorry, guys. This last comment on the chat, like, bro, that's even worse comeback than what I did, motherfucker. Like Triple Z, dang, bro. Like, can I even say that?
Probably not.
You're not monetized, so go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, he said
still on the don't want to get banned though.
I mean, he didn't say the
Not yet.
word, so I guess I can add a more safer word. I kind of
You have to.
yeah.
you have to be
I know what to
careful, though.
say.
I
No,
have.
I know what to say.
Call her a gun dumpster.
No. I got a better one. So, I would not bang that baby juice dumpster. Is what he should have said. Is that better? Is that better?
Yep. But so long as
We're probably about to
I
wrap
could've
up.
said worse,
Considering we go for 3 hours. Before we do, I just want to say there's 118 people watching. Miss Sassy Sasquatch is at 410 subscribers. So all 100 of y'all motherfuckers need to go sub to her after this.
Hell
because
yeah.
all of you can
Y'all
get her
better.
above the monetization mark after this show. Show some love.
Thank you, Leon.
yeah.
I appreciate you. You still have the best hair game.
Oh, I think he was. I didn't want to wait until because a lot of people they leave during outros. It's totally understandable. So I want to
appreciate
get
you.
out there before outros start, so that all you go out there and do.
I'm
I would
getting real
honestly
close,
hope his
so
hair
thank
was
you.
good,
I
considering
appreciate
he's
you.
been on hormone therapy for like a year now.
All the women.
You think
I'm
that's
surprised.
vape? That's not vape. That's hormone therapy.
I'm
He takes it
surprised.
like multiple times a stream. We get it, Leon. You vape. We get it. Get it.
No,
the
he's got to
nicotine
make
is how I
a.
have to deal with all this woke shit.
No,
Yeah,
he has to make a cumulonimbus clouds worth of vape before he can say he vapes a lot.
Ridiculous, man. The people who do that shit, they're so fucking obnoxious. So obnoxious.
Hey, bro, you
want quit drinking
Whatever
about a
happened
year
to
ago. I
being
needed
subtle?
some other addiction.
You know
so.
what I mean? Like,
Hey,
just
bro,
smoke
you know what I
screen.
think about? You know what I
take your
think
vape
about this
fucking
British
device- what do you
reporter?
call it?
Right, she's a bitch. Oh,
Gotta
hey, you
chase
see my
something. Might
bird
as well
over
chase
there?
clouds.
Atreus, do you think it's racist that Woods' cocksucking vape is white instead of black?
My vape is black.
No. When you blow out or whatever you call it, it's white. It's not black. It's very racist, isn't it, Atreus?
The way you're describing this would be, valued also with, something else, but we're not going to get
Oh,
into that
Lord.
conversation.
Look. If you
At
use
least
a
the
vape,
women-
you look more masculine with a cock in your mouth when in regards to vaping. I got that from a comedian, and it's good to know that it's making people laugh.
Jesus Christ. Now, you mean the rooster? You mean cock as in rooster? Or are we going
No,
over?
it's in sucking cock, Dragon.
Oh, Jesus.
You'd look more
I'm
masculine
sorry. We
sucking
gotta
cock
get the.
than using a vape.
Until Ryan has experience in this situation.
No, it's not experience, Hypno. How dare you support
It
this?
is
You guys gotta
3:50
make money
a.m.
somehow. You're
and
like
I
the
have
poorest
just
part of
stated
fucking
that
Europe.
Mr.
You
Leon
wanna know
over
why
here.
you want to know why I
sucks
can
on
get away
black
with
cock
vaping
bites.
and you want to know how I can get away with vaping? I actually drive a Standard. So
I have
You mean
no
you're not going to be
idea
able to
what
have
that is.
parts
What
for your
the
car in like the
fuck
next
is
5 years?
No.
what
I
was
don't
that,
know.
Hypno?
I mean, you're saying you're not going to have parts for your car in the next 5 years. What you're saying? Because it's going to
My
become obsolete.
car will be real easy to work on though, because it's not one of those modern piece of shit, foreign cars. So
Have you seen some of these modern manuals? Anyway, I'm not going to get into it.
Nah,
Just
bro.
do a car
look,
show.
Look,
Atreus, have you stolen any cars recently?
Oh my god!
You know what?
Any Fords, any Chevrolet?
Have you fondled any of your cousins lately?
How dare you? I'm not an African American man.
The fact you applied the Alabama joke to the Welsh man is masterful, my friend. How did you know? Bro, that is insane. By the way, Leon, at least none of the women on the panel have yet asked you what conditioner you use. At least
in the DM.
I'll let you guys know after the show. I'll have to, just trust in me.
Nothing is
admit,
combating
just
hat hair. It is what it is.
Literally, it'll next thing like 5 minutes after show's over, it'll just be Cage DMing words being like, "Hey, bitch, I want my hair to look as glossy as yours. What you using?"
No, Cass doesn't have enough hair to bother with conditioner. I guarantee you, she's like shampoo every 2.5, 4 days.
Jesus. That little face.
The chat lost their mind.
You're healthy to only wash your hair every several days that way because all the more you wash your hair, the more your hair will produce oils and it'll make your hair greasy faster. So you actually really only want to wash your hair ideally once to twice a week.
T-Gap wants me to ask this question, so all blame will go to him. He says Atreus doesn't know geography. Isn't Wales in Alabama? Would that mean the joke is valid in that case, Atreus? Because
Atreus, what's the capital of Florida?
I don't know, bro. Look, guys, I have lived in New York and I've lived in Pennsylvania, and I see whales every fucking where. Okay, now I feel like that is one of the biggest problems with modern society. There are too many fucking whales out here.
Whales? Oh.
I'm saying I lived in New York and in Pennsylvania, all my life, and I see nothing but fucking whales out here. Okay.
Jesus.
So, Atreus, what's the capital of Florida?
Why are you asking me that question?
What is the capital of Florida, Atreus?
Look, man. Look, stop ripping.
Some emotion.
Isn't it? Yo,
really...
leave Atreus alone, okay? At least he knows that Wakanda isn't a real place, unlike most black people, sadly.
God damn, what's up with that?
Was proven by that video, which is rough, man. Kyoko for Gary too says thank you everyone for all the joy and comedy. No problem, Kyoko. Thank you for watching.
It is our pleasure. Oh god.
All right, folks, let's start winding down. We're gonna do our outros. Episode 58 is in the books. It was so
what are you talking about? The black man still hasn't answered the question. What is the capital of Florida?
I'm giving him time to
finish Googling
because it's fucking retarded.
Don't let them bully you.
Yes, you are retarded. You haven't answered the question.
No, I'm not participating in that.
It's a trap. It's a trap, Atreus. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, it's either Tampa or Orlando or something.
He's a lot smarter
Who the
than
fuck
the
knows?
people that was in that video he reacted to. That's for sure.
He's a lot smarter than the people of Florida. Florida man is a meme for a fucking reason.
Hey, yo, but Coach is in Florida. Is that? Oh no, come on.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
come on
still an
now.
outsider.
Defend yourself. Come on now. Don't get included with that crowd.
So
right.
First of all, sorry.
No, I was gonna say let's start our outros, but go ahead, Coach. Say what you gotta say.
I love you all.
Oh, we did too.
Sorry, I'm not a homosexual.
That was very emotional. You sure? Because the way you stroking yourself under that fucking table of yours is very strange.
I can't hear you, Hypno, over your bullshit.
He lives in the land of cardboard. Okay, he just lives in the land of cardboard.
Looks like
and
he's tugging and chugging under there. It's weird. I know he's making a noose, but it's just, can you do it above in the camera so that people don't think you're tugging down there? I mean, it gets.
I mean, he wouldn't be able to make a good news because all he has is cardboard. Like, how do you make a news out of cardboard? Like,
let's
there
not
won't
even
be
talk
enough
about his
writing.
window.
You're gonna make it out of cable
held
chargers
together by cardboard and duct tape.
Bro. What if the next?
Gotta modernize.
It was probably done by some Hispanic that he hired.
I got an update on the
But
drawing.
you need a longer cord.
Let's see the drawing.
Ooh, good drawing.
Hey.
Wait,
Wow, that looks
so
sick.
oh
Sick,
no,
the
bro,
way you colored it on the bottom.
I messed it up. No, I can now see the rest of his body. Okay, so is he like gazing at his own reflection, admiring himself? Is that what I don't know. Like the top left, it looks like kind of like a weird mirror of sorts. I don't know. Is he like
it's like a window outside, right? He's watching.
Oh, he's
nature.
admiring the view. Oh, okay.
He's contemplating.
That's pretty sick.
He's stunned by the view. Okay, I get you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start closing up. We're gonna have Atreus start the outros. Take it away, good man.
Yeah, come to me last. Come to me last.
You're first,
Okay.
though.
No, he wants to
Come
be
on, you
last.
last?
Let's do it.
Ugh.
Okay.
He wants.
Is this
So we're
the
gonna go-
streaming
we're gonna
equivalent of
go-
the back of the bus?
We're gonna go back. We're gonna go the other way.
Oh no! It's
Oh,
just
look,
We're
there's
gonna
a
go the
white nipple of black.
Leona,
supremacy.
take it away.
Yes, this has been another awesome stream. Saturday nights are the most fun for me because we get to go here and we get to have these awesome discussions. You know, me and Casey, we got to go at it. We got to all have these different political and social beliefs. And I think it's incredibly healthy. It proves that we do not live in an echo chamber, despite the vast majority of our contemporaries seeming to do so. And it is an absolute blessing to have you guys in the chat here also staying out of an echo chamber. Whether you got certain beliefs or not, you're all here and you're willing to hear different points of view. And that is, at the end of the day, what matters the most. We also had a fantastic guest, someone who I've been watching for a long time, since before she was Miss Sassy Sasquatch. She was still on her, with her husband's channel. So to see her growth has been incredible. Seriously, make sure you guys go support her. Check out her channel. Her Sunday show is a baller of a show. So yeah, check it out. She does a great job. And of course, you can find me at Words of Paradise, where I cover pop culture through a political lens. Today's video, check it out. You're going to like it. There's some fun stuff going on in the trans community. Is getting anthropologists and scientists canceled for looking at skeletons and determining their sex. So yes, science is completely off the table now for these freaks. So go ahead, check that video out. I think you'll enjoy it. I do go live every Monday at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time with my show, The Countercast. And other than that, by all means, just check out everyone else on the panel because they are all awesome except Atreus.
Oh my god.
Hey, you know what, Leona? Fuck you, man.
I'm trying to start that beef for you to help your viewers. You know, we're going to get it going.
You know what? Cassie, get the bitch.
The fact you went into hood mode the second he threw any smoke in your direction, that is impressive how quick you switched to hood mode.
It's funny, but
Damn.
All right, we got the cult classic Cage. Cassie, take it away.
Yeah, man, I'm about to watch the Canelo fight tonight, so that's what I'm glad that we finished it up and now I can get to that, but appreciate being here as always and having an awesome chat and having all the the great all these voices, even if we don't necessarily agree, all the jokes that we can make, and just nobody takes it seriously. At the end of the day, we're just gonna go into our group DM chat and just talk about the absolute insanity that is from all the different walks of life, particularly the gaming community with freaking scammers. But yes, I digress from all that. But yeah, if you want to check out my content, I talk about all sorts of stuff, mostly gaming though, at Cult Classic Cage on YouTube, and about to hit less than 200 subs away from 3K, so any assistance on that is greatly appreciated. You can always hit me up on Twitter, and if you want to watch me play some games, I've been streaming Cyberpunk on Kick. Kick is an awesome alternative to Twitch where nobody cares, it feels like, and that's what's awesome about it. The only people that seem to care about what goes on Kick are people that refuse to go on the platform because they're little pussy ass bitches, but I digress on that as well. Definitely check me out, and thank you so much, Hypnotic, for bringing this all together, and I'm grateful for it, for real, for meeting everyone here. So
no worries. Thank you for being here, Cassie. And we got the Mr. Coach MC Studio. Take it away.
I just come to say I love you.
Okay, Ray Charles. I mean, what?
Missing the shades.
It was wonderful.
I'm gonna be sending you the next shipment soon, so be ready for that.
Oh my
These
god.
cold drug deals on stream are getting worrisome.
Oh, come on.
Better
No,
have his
man.
20K in his
I'm
bank
Miami,
account by the end of tonight.
I'm still and always will be a serious businessman. No matter what. My Sicilian roots are not what some people might think, influenced by, the media outlets out there and some really good movies, but they haven't highlighted what my country, my home country, Sicily, is actually all about. If you go there, you will see monuments, you will see enormous natural spectacles, you will see 2 active volcanoes, you will see incredible people, you will see so much history. And this is what I try to convey on my channel, the Coach MC Studios, to give people something to hold on to, some mythology, some good things like to think about, and also to help them to improve their performances, whether they're actors, stand-up comedians, whether they're communicators, sellers. I just love to kind of convey my experience of 35 plus years of acting experience and just give them like the best tools so they can succeed in their lives with their mission. So if you're up for that, or you just want to be entertained with some nice film reviews or some art like this piece over here, just come over to my channel, enjoy the art, enjoy the entertainment, enjoy the acting tips, and enjoy us every Saturday, because we won't stop, because we can't stop, and we basically won't drop, because we will stand here, and when everything crumbles and falls, we will still be here, because tonight has been the best proof that we're loyal to our cause, and our integrity is for real, because we're all believing in this culture, whether or not we're agreeing on every single point. But we have a common thread, and that is the culture, and keeping that culture alive is our mission every Saturday. So tune in.
Good stuff, sir.
Dang.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Well, I'm screwed. Okay. Well.
And of course, our special guest, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. Take it away.
Well, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for the opportunity to be on your show. I've been a huge fan of the whole Hypnotic deal. Saturday Night Hypnosis has always been a staple in our house. I mean, no matter where we are, whether we're home or at our in-laws' house, we always put it on. So we thoroughly enjoy this stream. And I do love the difference of opinions. I love that you guys can kind of just go at it with each other and just at the end of the day, just laugh. And it's real, it's authentic. And I love this show. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be on here. You can find me tomorrow morning, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my channel, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. I do a show called Mrs. Sassy's Sunday Stream. And I talk about a lot of things that really just tick me off, like, things that are dealing with our kids and transitioning and the trans community and things that are just not okay. I feel like a lot of things are being pushed in the wrong direction. A lot of our kids are being pushed to transition when maybe it's not the best thing for them. So I'm all about protecting our kids, making real women great again, and just talking about things from a women's perspective. Next Friday on my channel, which is the first Friday of every month, you can find me doing Truly the Female Perspective with my co-host Vex Electronica and Shiro. We talk about all things female perspective, and it's named Truly the Female Perspective because I tend to drink a little bit too many Trulies. So come hang out with me. Sometimes I have too many Trulies and say a little bit too much, but it's all in good fun. And I am just about 90 subscribers away from 500. So any little bit of help would be great. And once again, I thoroughly appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much for having me. I love all of you guys on the panel.
No worries.
So what you're saying
is now
is
89 subscribers shy of 500, which means for the 85 of you watching in the chat, like seriously, go show this woman some love. You can get her almost there.
Well, not only that, shout out to the 20 plus, 30 plus, however many it was, people on Rumble who were watching the entire stream too. Much appreciated.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
hey,
thank
look,
you again.
For all you wonderful viewers, you bitches, you better sub to her channel now.
Where
do you think we get all this entertainment from? Come on now.
Should that count as his outro? I don't know.
No,
Dragon Slayer
no.
commentary.
No, that was just a shout out. But no, guys, really, it was a wonderful stream as usual. We got down to talking about the crazy important topics, getting some good old shit talking together. Atreus and frickin' Ryan going to war as usual. Leon trying to go to war with Casey, and it just turns out to be a stalemate of awesomeness. And you know what, guys? At the end of the day, we do this because we actually enjoy the topics we talk about. And it's just in general talking with people that are actually honest about who they are themselves instead of talking to people who act like a goddamn wall of just positive reception all the time. Sometimes you need people to break you down so you can build yourself back up. Now, as for my channel, guys, fuck you, Steve, again, but I love you. But really, for my channel, guys, just know I am working on making like a series review of Ahsoka. It will be several videos, but once I'm done with them, they'll all be coming out like relatively one after the other. That way you can actually get the whole content stream of that series done in one go. And of course, it'll be during the week of the last episode because I think it'll be pretty good to talk about the whole series in one single go. But of course, I have other content on my channel that's already done. Like, for example, Kindergarten Cop, the former Cleopatra series, the Witcher series, Rings of Power, and, well, of course, much more. But just know that that is the upcoming content, and it's going to be quite a lot of fun trying to give a perspective on that Ahsoka show. It really will be. But that's it for me. Oh, and my links are in the description.
Absolutely. And then we got our local Klansman, the ultimate racist himself, Ryan Roger Athe. Take it away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, all these minorities on the show are making me ill. Thank you all very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the iconic Hypnotic. And thank you for watching the Hypno Show. As for me, you can check me out at Ryan Roger Athe. I am the host and founder of Reality Based. No, I do not. That is fake news. Both in regards to the media organization and to Atreus and his cabal of rioting people. Not the other word that I cannot say publicly.
Oh my god!
Excuse
We
me.
just said BLM. Not the tinks.
No. As we all know, black men built nothing. And you can check me out tomorrow. Of course, it's a new month, October, the spooky month, where I could cosplay as a ghost, for next week. You never know. Atreus won't like it, though. But I will say that for the beginning of October, reality-based comics will be back with the Phoenix Press as the special guest. That will be at 9 p.m. UK time. I'm going to start slow this October. Slow and steady does win the race. And it's a war too. So put those two together and we will surely prevail. Wakanda forever, brothers and sisters. Ryan Roger Athe is out.
Hypno, you fucker, man. Like, it's just getting more.
Wow.
Bro, why? No, I don't even know what to say.
Fake news. Fake news.
Let's go to Atreus. Atreus, last but not least.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said earlier, the new studio is secured. We will be moving in there, and everything will get back to normal on my channel very soon. Schedule will be a little bit different, but we'll be dropping videos more regularly, going live more regularly, and things such as that. You know what it is. Follow me, Atreus_Max, on Twitter. And then, everything.
Check and see if you're shadow banned, by the way, because anytime I try and tag you, your name doesn't show up. There's a website that can show you if you're shadow banned on X. So you should probably do that.
Yeah, your name never comes up. I have to type it in and hope it goes through.
I always see his stuff.
No, like if you try to tag him, it doesn't work for me.
Really? Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, Atreus, finish. Sorry.
Go ahead, man. So
no, I mean that was it. But what's the name of the? Just send it to me in a DM.
All right.
So are you doing like an actual studio? Like you're building a whole thing, or what are you doing? I was just curious. Like, what are you trying to do?
A new place, but I'm gonna build a new studio in there. God damn it!
Nice.
I just told you they can't build anything.
They can't.
They literally built our country. Slaves built
I
this
was
country.
just gonna say that. Fuck.
Slaves built this country.
You took it from me. No. Damn proud family. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, episode 58 is in the books. It was awesome. We had so much fun today talking about the different topics as we always do. I just want to do a quick shout out to MrsSassySasquatch for joining us, of course. Thank you for being our special guest tonight. It was awesome having you. Obviously, you're welcome back anytime. I'm sure we're going to have Mr. Cannoli here at some point whenever he's free. And
if I allow him to?
If you allow him to, yes. It works the other way usually in an Italian house. But yes, it was awesome having you, and I appreciate you making the time. I appreciate everybody in the chat, of course, our mods. Thank you, everybody in the chat. TJAP, of course, ARC, everybody modding for us, KRG. I appreciate all you guys and all the support. Thank you to the super chatters who donated and took it the extra step. I appreciate all you guys as well. Tune in next week, of course, for episode 59 as we get closer to episode 60. We'll have our next guest, of course, by next week. And with that being said, have a great night, everybody. Go be bigots. Do your best. Forget the rest. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Bye-bye.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Her dog, or her cat, was named Vagina. Vagina. Vagina.